And now, from the bowels of the internet, it's the Hate This Podcast.
The Hate This Podcast is on the air! Welcome, Hate fans. I'm Yo Chaos. Joining me as always, the awesome AlphaOmegaSin.
Hi, everybody. I don't have anything clever to say this time. Oh, wait, no, I do. The ice cream that I ate was fucking amazing. Seriously, Ben & Jerry's. Oh.
The Swisher Sweet himself, Sainted Magnus.
Yes, I am the British guy. If you realise that I'm British, you can tell by the tone of my voice. If you're not sure, watch my fucking channel. There's a big fucking flag behind me. Yes, I'm Sainted Magnus.
And the almighty wrist rocket himself, Razor Fist.
Greetings in God fucking speed, fellow hate-bid hedonists.
Welcome to our show. We've got a lot in store for you today. Today we're going to rap a little bit about what's going on with the folks at E3, talking a little bit about something going on with the Wii U controller, and other such propaganda. Anyway, we move right away into the female bag, or the placenta bag, and our first message comes from
Barbara
Larry
Streisand.
King at nipplebitter89@gmail.com. His subject is "You fucking rock."
Woo!
He goes on to say, "I love this show so much," and then he uses an emoticon that I cannot pronounce. He says, "It's amazing how you have 4 different personalities. Are you a schizo or something?
Yes.
I have a message for Alpha. Thanks for talking so highly about the Persona games. I picked up Persona 1 and 2 recently, and they are fucking amazing, man." And then there's
Yay.
another emoticon that I cannot describe. He then goes on to say, "On a more serious note, though, I was wondering if you could dedicate your next show and my cat Lucky. You see, this morning Lucky jumped off a balcony when it seen a bird, but she fell into the street and got hit by oncoming traffic.
Oh my.
Lucky was a wonderful cat and will be missed dearly. Thank you so much for your time. Nipplebitter."
Jesus.
Maybe you
fucking
should have spent less time worrying about what to name the cat and more teaching her the principles of gravity.
This is
No, we dedicate this show to Lucky the stupid cat.
You
Come
could have
on.
just said.
The guy's
You
cat
could have
just died.
Said cat.
I know. You know what? Can I recant that?
Yes.
Yes,
Well,
I guess.
I'm not going to. I was just checking.
Only if you're a pussy. How lucky was this cat if it plummeted to its fucking doom?
Lucky that it got to
Rush hour
experience gravity firsthand.
traffic? I guess.
I mean, how many people can say they fell to their death? I know I can't say that, so there you go. This cat had the good fortune to
Isn't
be
it-
able to say it fell to its death. However, it said it in meow mix language, so it didn't work out the same way.
No.
Probably been listening to R. Kelly.
But
I believe I can fly.
But seriously, naming a cat that its ultimate destiny is to plummet to its doom, naming that cat Lucky, I mean, is that not like naming a crippled guy Crazy Legs or fucking... It's just,
Name him
doesn't that constitute animal cruelty or...
It's like a term of endearment, really, isn't it?
I can say ultimately,
I hope
I would
so.
be devastated, though. If anything happened to my cat, I think that I would have to take a few human sacrifices throughout the entire week to be able to feel a little bit better. So I
Well-
most certainly am very sorry to hear that.
Make one of them, make one of them Hideo Kojima. As long as you're doing human sacrifices, let's go hog wild on it. Let's kill Bobby Kotick. Let's come on. Let's make it count. Is what I'm saying.
I'm thinking Oprah is going to be number 1 on my list at the moment.
Yes.
I've been gunning for her for a long time, and I've wanted her to be wiped off the planet. So, yeah.
After
I
all,
need to do it
Evie
before
chose
she
Buffy.
goes and runs for like politics somewhere. Seriously, it needs to be done quick. But yes, that's all.
I've got a few people I'd like to assassinate.
You only call it assassinate if you plan to go to prison. Otherwise, it's just bitch slap until something really bad happens.
No, you got that the wrong way around.
Oh, did I? I apologize for that. Anyway, next item in our mail bag, or female bag, I beg your pardon,
Placenta.
come from
Placenta.
placenta.
It's a Pokemon now. Placenta, placenta.
Oh,
Placenta, I choose you.
Yay!
Sounds more like a Digimon, but all right. Next one comes from Aaron Strauss 1, and Aaron Strauss says, "Mine is a two-part question, and it's pretty long. So if you end up choosing one question, pick the second anyway. On to the questions."
Right, move on.
Well, he's got two. I read both of them, and both of them are decent, so I think we'll do both. Number one, he says, "What do you think of the myth of gamer entitlement? I personally think it's bullshit made up to blame the customer for everything because the company and publisher can't handle criticism, and of course IGN and Kotaku and other bullshit gamer journalism will gladly suck their companies in agreement. And if you don't know what I mean when I say gamer entitlement, well, then I direct you to this hipster prick from IGN's video."
Oh fuck! Is he
And
talking about Colin Moriarty, the PlayStation editor?
I think so.
Ugh.
So hipster prick
This-
Colin Moriarty apparently has coined a phrase "gamer entitlement." I'm not familiar with this. Are these the same?
He didn't coin the phrase. That guy hasn't coined a single phrase in his miserable hipster existence. This guy is a pair of black frame glasses that speaks. I fucking hate him. He delivered his little exhortation about Mass Effect 3. That was the entire reason. He was mad that people didn't like Mass Effect 3's ending because it wasn't an ending.
Mhm.
And he did this in front of a wall that was painted like Mass Effect 3's galaxy map. So right off the bat, he's not exactly oozing objectivity. You know what I'm saying? But anyways,
And beyond
No,
that,
they
he's a
don't pay him
useless.
to be objectional.
He,
They
he's
pay him to report.
He's a useless writer, basically.
well, he's a useless, dickless fucking hipster who gets paid to work at IGN, which we already know that the entire editorial staff at IGN are nothing but a bunch of fucking brainless Neanderthal ass fucks, and
Well,
couldn't possibly
you're going to
ever fucking
IGN
review anything worth a shit.
If you're going to a News Corp company looking for journalism, may I suggest you to Wendy's to look for the McRib?
Oh.
I still like going to Wendy's and asking to biggie size, even though they haven't. Wait, how long has it been? They don't do biggie size anymore. I forgot about that.
That Morgan Spurlock that fucked that up for them too.
Biggie Size sounds like a fucking rap artist.
Biggie Size probably is a rap artist, to be honest.
Biggest
Oh wait, no, he'd be called Little Biggie Size just to be a fucking conundrum.
Yeah.
So don't.
Little Biggie Size.
Yeah, Little Biggie Size in the house.
And as Razor Fist knows, the 90s were awesome because of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Razor Fist, they are nothing to fuck with. They're nothing to fuck with.
Yeah, you know all the
Even
the,
had a video game.
online shootings and all the horrible things that happened in the 90s. Well, the Wu-Tang Clan, they got together and they made up for that.
Yeah, yeah, entirely.
And they had a
Their-
video
their
game.
pop
Do you remember
rap.
it? Wu-
The fighting
Yeah,
game?
yeah, I remember. It was called Thrill Kill.
no, it was Wu-Tang Clan, Feel the Pain or Taste the Pain or something.
No, it's Wu-Tang Clan Shaolin style, and it used to be Thrill Kill, and then they went Axe Thrill
was
Kill,
fucking
and then
awesome.
fucking put Wu-Tang Clan's name on it, and absolutely butchered a fucking perfectly good game in place of that because they were a bunch of fucking sniveling pieces of shit, and we're like, oh, we don't want parents complaining about this, and now look at the shit that's out, fucking
Oh.
idiot.
I had Thrill
Do they
Kill.
really
It was
think
one of
that
the
they were
best
somehow
fucking
gonna-
games I ever had on the PS1.
Oh,
Did they really think they were
game.
going to please
Oh.
parents groups by making a game for the Wu-Tang Clan?
I know,
Yeah,
right?
apparently that's better than the fucking midget with the stilts and the fucking dominatrix and shit, so, you know.
But parents take their kids to the circus.
I used to like the mental patient that used to have a severed leg, and he
Yeah.
beat people senseless with the severed leg, and then when he won, he used to eat part of the leg. But there was one character on there that I think Alpha will know who I'm talking about. She had a cattle prod in a nurse's outfit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
she used to
dude.
titillate herself whenever she fucking won a match.
For everybody listening to our podcast right now, if you get the chance whatsoever, go on YouTube and check out Thrill Kill and just look it up. And if you can, look up the endings to Thrill Kill because they're fucking hilarious. They're so bad that they deserve your attention, rightfully.
And if you can find an ISO and a PlayStation 1 emulator for your PC, don't take any worries about downloading it because it is a game that must be played. And that's another money savings tip from the Hey Bit
Yeah.
podcast.
Yes, and especially coming from the Sainted Magnus. But we were discussing gamer entitlement.
Yeah, it is an absolute myth. It is essentially just because, and look, let's call a spade here. I think this falls under a greater umbrella of propagandist horse shit. Quite frankly, at the end of the day, modern video game media is basically just the marketing wing of Activision, EA, and these large companies. Essentially, that's basically all it is. As a matter of fact, most of their revenue comes in the form of advertising packages. So, do we really care what pattern they identify? No. The only pattern I identify here is that when you get paid an awful lot of money for an ad campaign on your site, suddenly the score creeps up into the 8, 9, and 10 area, regardless of the actual quality of the game Final Fantasy 13. So.
Oh, and that's when, in the comments section, motherfuckers start getting banned for not agreeing, and especially if they're a bit too vocal about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And if you don't believe me, go into I know this sounds like a beaten horse, but just go onto something like the Capcom Unity forums. I know a lot of people that have been completely banned outright from that. I know people that have been banned on IGN. I know people that have been banned on GameSpot, especially GameSpot, because they did quite a few shady, fucked up things. Granted, IGN's done tons, but long story short, fuck the big companies because they're trying to fuck us. So we have the bigger dicks, and we have more of them.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're not Japanese either. Anyway,
What's his
he has another question, actually. Since we talked about the hipster prick Colin Moriarty, he now moves to a completely different angle. And he asks, what do you think of the Elder Scrolls combat system? I mean, their combat system in any game, like the sword play, magic, etc. My reason for asking this is Skyrim was praised for its combat because it was the best in the series, and not. Yeah, I know Razor Fist. Hold on. And I can hear the wheels grinding, man.
Oh, I've got a few wheels grinding as well.
Not only that, but it was the best sword and combat magic in any game ever, which I can say is bullshit because it's the best in the series, but that doesn't mean it's not Fallout 3 melee combat reskin with some tacked on magic. No, the best combat, at least in my opinion, comes from Dark Messiah Might and Magic, mainly because the sword swings in more than 2 ways and has tons of ways to strike an enemy. You can use your foot. They do slow-mo kills right, and the magic feels like it's actually doing something other than Skyrim's atrocious magic. But yeah, what do you guys think of the Elder Scrolls combat throughout the series? My God, man. You could just left us with what do you think of the combat system? Razor Fist?
Well, for one thing, if you love to have the sword be able to, say you're swinging a sword or whatever, or an axe in an Elder Scrolls game, if you like for it to be able to be swung in more than one direction, that you've been able to do that since Arena. You've been able to do that since, Daggerfall. All you have to do is hold down the right click on your mouse and then just move the sword in whatever direction you want to swing. And people piss and moan about Daggerfall's combat, but it's actually got exactly what you're describing there. You can even use your feet. You can fist fight, blah, blah, blah. But Skyrim, at the end of the day, is just, it's the same combat from Oblivion. It's just, on occasion, the game will take all control from you. It will wrest control from your hands, and it will show you a contextual third-person kill in slow motion that's supposed to make your little Dune worm fucking stand to attention. And that's the idea.
Here's something. I'll throw this one your way, just because you, out of all of us, you're definitely the connoisseur of this particular field. Okay, by comparison of the older Elder Scrolls series to the newest, installments, do you think the battle system has gotten better, or do you think that it's gotten worse, or it's just kind of the same?
I think it's the same with an extra coat of paint in Skyrim. Actually,
I agree. I agree. Because coming fresh off the whole, Fallout stages and actually playing, Oblivion. I recently played Oblivion this past year or so, and moving straight on to Skyrim. The combat system does feel very samey, compared to Fallout. And I totally agree with the whole layer of paint on it, because I think it's just been tightened up a bit and simplified, but it's been simplified so much that a bloody 3-year-old can bloody suss it out.
That's true. I mean, literally, and then they make it even worse. They exacerbate that problem by giving you regenerating health, which you just don't fucking need.
You don't need regenerating health, because when you start the game, you start off with a fire spell and a bloody healing spell.
I know,
And
you're
then there's
given a
mountain-
healing spell.
And then
You're given a healing spell, and your mana already regenerates.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
I think regenerating health in an RPG environment is fucking ludicrous on so many different levels because it takes a lot of like the tactical and strategy parts out of it completely. It's just like, okay, run away, make sure he doesn't
Well,
hit
more
me
than
for X
that-
amount of seconds. Cool, I have full fucking health again. It's like, whoa, what?
Yeah, more than that, it takes challenge out of the game. And I'm not talking.
Absolutely.
You know, we're not talking like Catherine block puzzle challenge here. We're not talking something ridiculous. We're not talking Demon Souls challenge. We're just talking basic, oh, my health is low, I should heal myself real quick, and it'll take 1/15 billionth of my mana to do so, so why not do it anyways? It's so ridiculous. You can walk from one end of Skyrim to the other and never once be in danger of dying.
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit.
I must admit, I've been in a few fair scrapes. You know, especially going up to go and see the Greybeards, for example, to go and learn how to do the voice.
You know
You
what
see some trolls up there, and they're like, "Hang on, I'm going to fight these fucking things."
Oh, yeah, the giants, and that's what blows my mind. You'll fight a dragon and have an easier time than if you just run across a bear
I know.
or like a giant, and you're totally screwed. You fight a dragon, it's like the easiest fight in the game, but then you run across a bear and it's like, oh shit, I better run.
Yeah.
See, the one thing that makes me think about it is like I remember when regenerating health became like the big shit, and mostly thanks to Halo, legitimately.
Ugh.
I mean, and you know, there's no fucking denying that it really got it started for developers because it became a mainstay. But the thing is, I understand why they do it in shooters to a certain degree, even though I don't agree with it. But it's because you know they don't have to go and figure out health pack placement, and they don't have to figure out item placement, and they don't have to figure out a lot of shit. It's just built right into the system. You know, they're just like, hey, you'll just regen health. Cool. That's a whole bunch of extra coding and work and thought that we don't have to fuck with at all.
Basically.
But in an RPG, no, that's inexcusable to me. That does take out all challenge, like you said. And to me, if I can just get all my fucking health back without doing anything, I mean, think about white mages in Final Fantasy. They essentially would be fucking jobless if this was like a mainstay in all RPGs.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, now those games play themselves for you, so you don't even have to worry about healing, right?
Yeah, you just press a button and let it do it. Final
Just
Fantasy
change
4
your paradigm,
PSP is the same.
right?
Final Fantasy 4 PSP is exactly the same. You press the select button, it battles for you.
Well, yeah, the button is not for actual interaction. That's just to prove you're still there.
Wow, you sound horrible. What have you done?
You guys sound horrible too.
Yeah, you sound worse. Oh well, I'm sure if he shakes a bit, he might actually say.
And with that, we move into our segments for our show. And first on the list, apparently this is news. As of today, print day, May the something. I don't even know what day this is. May the 20th. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm totally giving away that this is recorded. Thanks, man. American, U.S., and Canadian students buy a computer and get an Xbox. What's that all about, Saint Magnus?
It wasn't me that presented the news.
It was me.
It was Alpha.
It was you? Well, I want to hear from Saint
Ta-da!
Magnus, man.
Yeah, basically last year, Microsoft went and initiated this little program, and it was a success, so they're doing it again. Basically, if you are a college student at participating locations, obviously, you can go and get yourself a snazzy new Xbox 360 Slim, the most basic bare bones one with the 4 gigabytes and all the other bullshit. But if you're buying a computer from any of the participating retailers, you can go and get a 360 for free, which isn't too bad if you ask me. So yeah, it's kind of handy dandy.
Well, it's better than that $99 plus $15 a month for 2 years deal.
Well, free is better than anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Free. The best anything is free anything, I always say.
Yes.
I don't know. Germs are free.
Yeah, but
Yes,
that's
these are free.
work.
But if you had to
SCDs
pay
are
for
free as well.
if you had to pay for those germs, you'd be pretty pissed, right?
Oh,
You know
absolutely.
what? That's true. I can't argue with that.
I'm saying.
Oh, and one thing I am kind of curious as to how badly this is going to get taken advantage of. a bunch of people who are like, I don't really care about getting free Xbox 360, but their friends are, so they should go in with like other people's IDs and everything.
Yeah,
And
I'm a college student.
I'm totally a college student, sir. You're 46. That doesn't mean I can't go to college, so fuck you. Haha.
Yeah,
You know how long it took me to save up for college, asshole?
Yeah,
Dude,
I worked darn hard for that.
Dude, I was taking college courses while I was in high school. So shoot, high school students could be like, dude, I'm a college student. I'm enrolled in a college course. Dude, I'm saying.
I'm learning how to be a chef.
The only thing that kind of sucks, though, is online. They didn't give a list of retailers that are doing it, so it's one of those bullshit things where you got to call in, like, oh, I'm going to go and call Best Buy and be like, are you guys actually doing this shit? Because if not, fuck you, I'm not going there. Oh, wait, all your computers are overpriced as shit? Well, I'm not coming there anyway, so later. Yeah, and by the way, seriously, don't buy a computer from Best Buy, because if you ever thought that was a good deal, no. In their Geek Squad, there are a bunch of fucking assholes who have to read off of manuals anyway, so you're
They're
not
a bunch
really...
of pussy bastards too, aren't they?
They're like GameStop employees. They're just.
Oh, dude, no, GameStop employees, I've come across competent GameStop employees, quite a few. As a matter of fact, I used to be one long time ago. But the thing is, no, at Best Buy, 99% of their fucking staff are fucking dumber than dog shit. No offense to anybody listening that is a Best Buy employee. I'm
No,
sure
all
you're
offense to those
awesome.
who work at Best Buy.
But it's no, I've had many, many bad scenarios where they knew next to nothing, and they had to consult like numerous different resources because they couldn't figure it out on their fucking own. So it was always annoying. Anyway, this has nothing to do with Xbox 360. Seriously, buy a computer, get a free 360. That's kind of neat, assuming you're in college, or
It's
just
kind of
make
neat,
a
provided
fake
that anyone lets us know where it's gonna be.
Well, if anybody finds out, place it in the comments down below. There we go, sorted.
You
Or
can't really walk into 7-Eleven. When I buy a computer, can I have an Xbox 360?
they'll tell you to get out and lay off the strong cheese at night.
Yeah, and they'll say you pay now. Anyway, we move on. Our next segment, we're talking about a proposed from Retro Studios, I understand, a Star Fox Metroid crossover, and that's where we kind of got I think that's where we got that story. We got a head nod for the Wii U controller change. I want to talk about this. Will somebody start it for me?
It sounds like a very interesting concept because I've actually read up on it, and it's supposed to be like a crossover of the universes. So it means that we could have Samus Aran's ship during Star Fox sections, which could be cool.
Yeah, I like that idea quite a bit, just because that's something.
I thought we were going to talk about the Wii U controller change.
Well, that's afterwards.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, this is basically going to lead into that.
Yeah,
Okay,
get with the program, boy.
All right. Okay. So sorry, I'm in the
See,
moment.
Razorfist is all confused now and thought we were cock teasing, and
I know you are.
not-
You're just.
Hey, you said we were going to talk about the controller. You guys are dicks.
I know, you're always putting just the tip in and teasing me. Come on, folks.
no, you're supposed to rub it on the clit, and that gets them going all crazy. They're just like, goodness gracious. And yes, by the way, everybody,
I can find it.
I'm giving. Oh man, I think that I really should make like a fucking sex book for gamers and everything.
No, that should be your
A
new
sex
series.
book for gamers? That would be horrible.
Dude, hey man, there's a lot of gamers out there just like, what do? And it's like, well, you stick that in slot B, not in slot A. That's where they expect it. Put it in slot B. They don't see that one coming, and if they accept it,
Maybe I'm just loading up a peripheral.
Oh,
Yeah,
and in the index, you have to go directly to the section where it's like, you want to play co-op? Well, this is how you Eiffel Tower in the middle of a game.
And don't forget to choose the difficulty.
Right. I know it's got to be out there. I mean, this is the internet after all, but there's got to be I wonder if there's a gamer porn site out there.
Oh, dude, oh my god,
there
is
is.
there? No. The question is, how many are there?
There's
Like, that's
fucking
the real-
hundreds of the fuckers.
I don't know, guys. Like speaking of sex, I think in this game, think about it. You got jiggling ass titties, zero suit bedecked Samus Aran, and the gash hound that is Fox McCloud in the same room.
For all the
I'm
first...
saying, folks,
Foxes.
if you've played Star Fox 64, this puts a new spin on the hatches are open. You know what I'm saying? But anyways,
Oh, and this also puts a new spin on Slippy the Toad's name.
Lippy!
Not to mention that whole tie-in bullshit with Crystal. I smell a love triangle.
Oh,
All right.
But
So
yeah, but we were actually talking about a crossover game. Who would have thought of that?
Oh, I don't know.
I have no
we
fucking
got on
clue.
this tangent. But
Yeah.
anyway, Razor Fist is foaming at the mouth, man. What's up?
Well, for me, at first glance, this pairing kind of sounds like the fever dream of a concussed infant, which is incidentally is also how it appears on the second, third, and fourth glance. But I don't know. To me, it sounds like fucking turds. I mean, we're gonna pair Metroid and Star Fox just because they're both in fucking space.
Well, that's the one that seems most natural. I mean, I wanted to pair Star Fox with Zelda.
Well, come on. You shouldn't make a crossover just because you both happen to be in the same neighborhood. Me and Roseanne Barr are both on planet Earth, but I still wouldn't fuck her with Alpha's dick and a titanium condom. So
I'm just glad that you are kind enough to put my dick in a titanium condom. I do appreciate that.
no,
Where do you
Even
get
though
the
I'm going to
condom
fucking
for
rot
titanium
away
condom?
just from being within the same zip code.
Well, I'm always looking out for the little guy, and I do mean
Oh,
Ew.
Wah, wah, wah.
sad face.
Oh,
Yeah.
here, I will actually go and
Wait, that
defend
was a
this
double
idea.
pun.
I will go and defend this based off of one major thing. Nintendo really hasn't dabbled in the whole crossover thing too much outside of like, Mario Kart, Mario Party, and shit like that.
Smash
And Super Smash Brothers. They haven't really done crossovers like that. I actually wouldn't mind seeing this because this could be them seeing, well, let's take two of our bigger series, throw them together and see if it works. Because if it does, we might see some other shit happen down the road, which could potentially be cool. It's one of those things I'd want to see it played out first, but the concept is alluring at the very least.
Hmm.
At least
Well-
that's my take.
They did well with the Olympic Games though, and the Winter Olympic Games. They were quite fun, even though they were sort of shovelware.
And here's the thing, man. Those games, I mean, all it is it's Mario Party with a fucking an Olympic theme. That's
Hmm.
it.
Still fun
No,
though.
no matter what.
And it's
somebody
not a very
says,
good one either.
Still fun
Yeah,
when you're
it's-
drunk.
I mean, there.
Have you played
Well, a lot
boxing
of
game
things
when
are
you're
really
drunk?
fucking fun when you're drunk. So are really
A
ugly
lot
shit.
of things, dude. Watching Roseanne is fun when you're drunk.
No,
Well,
it's
not
not.
even fun when you're watching it drunk or sober. So
only if you got a titanium condom.
no, let
Exactly.
You want let
And well, no, that's only if you want to be able to try to enjoy it and be safe at the same time. So this
Oh, I-
isn't going to assume that you're going to enjoy it. It just means that you're trying to take all the right precautions.
Yeah,
that
but do you
bitch is-
realize that there is some sort of a sport in doing terrible things while you're smashed?
Yes.
Friend of mine, we got loaded and watched terrible movies. We've been meaning to find out what happens when you get loaded and watch good movies.
I noticed that if
Thank Redemption.
being drunk, I like all of my music 10 times more than I do when I'm sober. Even if it's something I'm like, this is like my favorite album of albums, then I hear it when I'm drunk and I'm like, no, you don't fucking understand. This is like the best shit ever. And then I just throw 'em at
Sacred
the
again, haven't
middle.
you?
Well, I'll tell you what. Next time you get wasted, maybe you could listen to a "Blessed by a Broken Heart" album.
Oh.
Boom! Got it in. Yes.
Yes. Look at you, segue of the century.
Yeah. Anyway, so the
Unfortunately, that's a
Yeah,
segue that takes us to a dead end, so that's more of like
wait, here.
figurative punctuation.
The dude that's like the big Nintendo guy here has not weighed in. What are your
Yeah, come
fucking
on,
thoughts,
dude.
Mr. Chaos? Come on, man.
Well, it was it was bound to happen.
yeah.
That's all I can really say, I mean, there's gonna be a whole bunch of hentai just based on this. I assure
Oh.
you.
No, I think Accept wrote a song about this called "Bound to Fail." I think that was.
Oh.
No, I'm down with it. If they want to try new things, hopefully, finally, fucking somebody's trying something new.
Yeah.
So it is kind of a cheap way of trying. Because here's the thing I find so interesting: they've paid the Star Fox franchise next to no attention inside the last. Well, let me see. There was no Star Fox offering on the Wii, and the one on the 3DS is a remake, and so I don't count those as as first titles.
No. There was one. The last one was a Command. On.
But that was on the DS,
Regular,
though.
That was on the DS.
regular DS, and that game's great.
Yeah.
for the
But
record.
that was a launch title, 2004, And
I don't know. I
Metro-
really liked Star Fox Assault on GameCube, even though a lot of people did not give two fucks about
really,
its
Assault,
existence.
Assault to me seems the most natural successor of Star Fox 64.
It's
Oh,
great. It's fantastic. They just should have had less ground missions. You should have been
My-
walking.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Oh,
The
I mean,
gr-
the vast majority of it should be in space because it's like this is where this is your home. Are you too good for your home? You know,
Yeah.
that's the shit right there. But it's like, I wholeheartedly agree. I didn't think the ground missions were bad, but it was one of those things where while you're playing through like the bajillionth fucking one, you're like, okay, please put me back inside the fucking spaceship and put me up into space so I can go and fly through rings and shoot down shit. That'd be super great. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, or at least make it like the Great Fox and all those machines. The R-wings can fly like Harriers. Kind of hover there. That I
No,
could tolerate.
Yeah, and the thing that pissed me off the most was the land portions. A lot of times you'd have to enter buildings, and the buildings were never just like a hallway in a room. They were always like, okay, the interior of this building looks like a contortionist digestive tract. It's just going to be like 9 levels, and there's going to be 1,000 different ways to get in and out of each room, and it's like the little radar doesn't have a map on it, so you've just got a radar with a little dot on it. And
Yeah, it's like this was a hutch when I came in here. Where did all these fucking hallways come from?
I know.
You want to know what started going through my head since we got Star Fox on the fucking brain right now?
What's that?
Why the fuck has Nintendo not ever decided to go and make a first-party flight stick? Why?
I don't understand.
Because
You
they
know
put everything
what's
on
even
rails.
what's even more quizzical than that is why is there no motion control Star Fox game? Simple
Yeah,
as that.
dude, that and F-Zero. Every time I fucking look at the Nintendo Wii and its fucking little what the fuck is it? The steering wheel attachment. I forgot what the fuck they called it, but why the fuck did they just say, okay, here we go, we got this. All right, we got Mario Kart, Excite Trucks, Excite Bots, and well, that's really about it.
That's it.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
and the two obvious choices were all thrown out there. I'm like, are you fucking mental? Please, if you want to get the Wii U right, fucking make this shit happen. Like
Yeah.
on launch, if possible, make this shit happen. You will have fucking fans like oozing in their pants and fucking oozing on each other, and then fucking lawsuits everywhere. But people will buy it, so it doesn't matter. I want it to happen.
Worst
Now wait,
guess
will the
zero
lawsuits be
game.
because of the motion controls or because of the oozing?
Oh, the oozing, no doubt.
Oh,
It's
the
just
oozing.
because it's
Toxic
like, oh,
oozing.
It's the
I
secret
got
of the
I got
ooze.
Jimmy John's sticky ooze all over my shoulder. That's a tall feller there. I wish he wouldn't stand behind me so close and watch the screen. So
Sit down on the sofa, not behind the sofa.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jimmy John.
Which
boy.
while
Anyway,
we're talking about controllers, I guess that's as good a place as any to transition.
that's what I was gonna say. That'll segue us way right into. Apparently, there was a leak of some of the photos of an updated Wii U controller. The Wii U controller. Apparently, now this is the big news for me. There was a very nice fellow, Cesar Barroso, who talks to us frequently on our Facebook page. By the way, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/hatebitpodcast. And he dropped me the link, which had something about the Star Fox Metroid thing, but also about the controller change. And the highlighted part for me is the fact that it appears, now we don't know, we're still calling it a rumor at this part, but you know what? We're a couple of weeks out. How different could it be? They've decided to jettison the circle pads and go with full-fledged analog control sticks, much like those found on the nunchuck in the Nintendo Wiimote control scheme. And to which I kindly replied, "Fuck that shit! I like the circle pads." And I have a Nintendo 3DS and I enjoy the circle pads thoroughly, and I thought that they were a really great idea, very comfortable. It seems to me maybe they break too easily, and that's why they've decided to go with the analog control stick. I don't know. I mean, Razorfist, you were foaming about this. What are your thoughts?
Like I said earlier, it sounds like Nintendo decided to be Sony on opposite day and actually fix their controller before the system ships. So instead of little white like nubs, basically, that's what people have been describing them as before. The circle pads were nubs.
They look like
We've got-
sabers.
it's a fucking nipple. It's a
we've got-
nipple.
Yeah, little Mentos with sticks under them.
They do. They look like Mentos or breath savers.
Oh,
So basically now we've got dual analog sticks. So definitively, now and for all time, if a Nintendo fanboy is working 2 white nubs, it just means Yell Chaos is on vacation at Fire Island. Zing!
Hey!
Bazinga.
Buzzing.
But seriously, I think it's great. I'm not crazy about the circle pads, so having some joysticks is gonna rock. That didn't sound right, but fuck you.
Regrettably, I have to agree with you on that because, you know, being a PlayStation game, I've got used to thumbsticks that much that I don't like circle pads. And even on the PSP, they had a fucking circle pad, and that was horrible as well. So to actually go with a proper analog stick, that's great.
The circle pad on the PSP sucked.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. I've just said it fucking blows.
And I'm saying it's the exception to your argument. Yeah, it sucks. So what?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean all circle pads are bad.
Oh, have you used
I
the
think it's a
3DS
better
circle
idea
pad?
for them to have the
Yeah, I
analog
use
stick.
these all the time. I happen to enjoy it thoroughly.
The circle pad on the fucking 3DS is a piece of shit. Even the circle pad Pro is a piece of shit. I prefer a thumbstick.
I don't know. I haven't had the
brings-
opportunity to actually
that
use the
brings me-
goddamn thing.
Oh, that brings me on to my next bit. Why do they have to have that fucking stupid straight edge fucking gate on the damn thing? Why can't they just have a nice fucking round, a round circle like a PlayStation or an Xbox fucking thumbstick, not this fucking stupid, what is it, 10-sided shape? I don't know what the fuck you call it, but I hate it because you're trying to be precise and then you just move a little bit and it goes dunk into the fucking recess of. You know what I mean if you've played on a Wii.
No, I know exactly what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
I
know
hate that
exactly-
thing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that you need precision with that shit. I've owned actual arcade sticks that have had that thing, and it is the biggest pain in the balls you could possibly imagine. Seriously, especially in a fighting game when you're looking for very precise motions with your joystick. That
Exactly.
did not sound right.
exactly,
Alright.
it's like playing one of those Sega piss games, isn't it?
Exactly. You're trying not to cross streams.
Don't cross the stream.
Hey, and now you're just destroying the whole
protonic
co-op
reversal.
experience.
Right? Having your sword fight. Anyways.
Anyway,
Oh,
moving on.
You're finding out
have
that
to-
your Schwartz is as big as theirs.
I want to go and just touch in on one thing. The
Uh-oh.
analog stick for the whole thing. I'm actually glad that they went with the analog sticks over the circle pad because the circle pad's there for one reason. It's a compact design, and that's why they went with it over an analog stick that will
agree.
jut out and stick out. And this is a full-fledged controller. It should have all the fucking offerings that we're used to and be really fucking awesome. And to be honest, I don't know if this happens to anybody else. This is just my personal experience. But after long gameplay sessions on my 3DS, my thumb hurts a lot.
Really?
Yep.
I'm dead serious. This isn't me bashing it. Please don't anybody think that I'm saying something bad about it, because I actually like the circle pad a lot for a handheld design standpoint. But every time I'm playing, like I only have Revelations and Super Mario, but anytime that I was playing either of them for long durations, my thumb hurt like shit after like 20 plus minutes. So I'd have to go and fucking close it up, wait like 5 minutes, go back to playing. But it doesn't happen on any other thing, not even on the fucking PSP, which I thought was fucking strange. So I don't know if it's just a placement or maybe I'm just fucking retarded. I really don't know, but that's just me. I'm all for the analog sticks. Huzzah.
Huzzah.
I think Yell
Well,
Chaos.
it's funny for me. I find that the circle pad actually sort of cradles my thumb when I play it. Maybe I'm not playing it for as long as you are. Maybe that might be the issue.
Yes.
I mean, go for long durations. Like, if anybody else like legitimately is listening, and you have like, if you have an opinion on this, like, does your thumb ever hurt from long durations of playing it? Like, I'm dead fucking serious, and it isn't something just bashing it or something. It's just like literally, does it actually like fucking hurt your thumb? Because for me, it does. I've never had that happen on any controller at all. So I just thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just hope they replace.
I don't
that
know,
bit.
man. Don't let anybody else find out you're bitching about it, or they'll attack you. It's like, well, maybe you're pushing too hard.
I know. I on a fucking $160, $170 handheld. No, I treat that thing like it's a fucking newborn baby.
So you punched it in the face until it stops crying.
Yeah,
Pretty
you're trying
much,
to
yeah.
try and drown it.
No, that's called babysitting. So
Knock that shit off.
Drown it.
watch Lost. Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, so Razor Fist, do you have something to say?
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, so that was the
Fine,
discussion.
he's laughing. He's got something. What do you got to say?
What's on your mind, man?
Oh, now he's quiet.
Oh, now he's quiet. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that was our discussion on the Star Fox Metroid crossover. We attempted to discuss the Wii U controller, but I don't know. We'll see. You know, we at this point, E3 is just so far away. We don't not so far. What do I talk about?
What
It's
we
right
learned-
around the corner, and yet we know nothing. You know, is it 3 weeks or
Well,
it's 2 weeks?
About
What
3
we learned-
weeks.
The 5th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know so much. They've said so much and yet told us so little. So you know,
All we really learned is that Yell Chaos loves working two white little nubs.
Yes.
What do you-
well, I was fine with just working one white nub and then whacking something, you know, with it. Never mind. Anyway,
Times are
So-
tough. You got to double
Ti-
down.
you got to, man. You know, if you got it, do it, flaunt it. Anyway, that brings us on to our next piece of news. We're talking about the Metal Gear Solid HD collection for the Vita. And when does that come out, Saint Magnus?
Uh,
June the 12th.
June 12th. That makes it June 15th in the UK. And to be
Yeah.
quite honest, I already have the HD collection, and to have it on the Vita is not really much cop. Considering you can, there's a little feature right on the Peace Walker section of the game called transferring, and what that basically means, you can transfer your game save from the PS3 to your PSP, so you can play the PSP version of Peace Walker with your save, so you don't have to have two saves on at once. That's the only unique feature. So, how it's going to work on what is it, a non-HD console, handheld? What's the point? It's just a pointless title that's not really relevant, so that's my thoughts. Razorfist, I'm sure you've got something to stab at Sony with.
No, I'm fine with it. I mean, I hate Metal Gear Solid. I think we've established that fact. To me, the plot of Metal Gear Solid makes about as much sense as Jews for Jesus. But whatever, put it on a portable. Somebody will fucking buy it.
Yeah.
I
Alpha?
think I
gotta
just-
admit, it's nice to see that the Vita actually has a piece of software.
I know. I think I had just invented a new kind of ambivalence to describe how I feel about the Vita. But
Well, you know, my feelings on the Vita, you know, I finally got to handle one again, you know, because a friend of mine, when he got it, like, you know, a couple weeks or like, I think like a few days after launch, and I held it, I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat, you know, I didn't really pay it much mind, and now I've gotten to fuck with that in the store, and the thumbsticks feel like they're gonna snap right off.
Yeah, the thumbsticks do feel cheap.
And it doesn't, like, I understand it's supposed to feel like it's contoured for your hands, but it feels more like it's contoured for Carl Malone's hands.
It feels like it's contoured for a fucking 2-year-old's hands.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. It's just I don't know whose hands feel this way, and I just, you know, whatever. But the moreover, the point I was gonna make was, we were just at the store, you know, kind of fucking around a little bit, and I saw the extent of what the store was carrying for software. Usually, like the 3DS and their section, they get like a dozen spots for software, and then the hardware and so on. Well, this one had a dozen spots for software, but it only absorbed 7 of them. The rest of them they had to fill up with extra games and memories.
wow.
I mean, is there anything for this fucking console?
You know, it reminds me of when I was I was working at GameStop right when the PS3 came out, and it was like that. Like the 360 and the Wii both had a wall, and the PS3 had this tiny little corner and like 3 rows of games.
I remember that when the Xbox 360 was released. I think it had about 25 games on release, and it
Yeah, and that
literally had the end of a gondola. Is what we called the shelves. They were called gondolas, so they had literally one side.
Yeah, and that just they're making the same. It feels like history is repeating itself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll get something at E3 about what software they're going to offer, if that. But to be
Here's
honest,
the thing: I don't think everybody should absolutely take a big dump on the fact that it doesn't have that many games, because everybody said the same thing about the 3DS. Had no games. Everybody mocked it for that. Everybody wrote it off and called it a failure, you know, and laughed at it. And then it was like, price cut. Oh, look, now we got some games now. Cool. Everything's gravy. Now they got more exclusives coming out and more titles ready to launch. And I mean, I'm looking forward to the future for it, but wholeheartedly, I'm not buying the shit till it drops in price. And when they give me a version of it that I can pop the motherfucking battery out, because yeah, the one in there, yeah, they ain't gonna cut it.
no.
And not to mention that, you know, I don't know if this is if this is really too much to ask, but how about internal memory? Is that a lot or
I know, right?
or what?
Yeah, but then they'll do that, and then they'll remove all the fucking solid state drives that they've got in it.
Oh, those
Fine, you know what? They can take away whatever they want because let's face it. All right, they keep going. I think they're expecting to have the same kind of numbers that they did when casual gaming was really at its peak just a couple of years ago. And I don't know where this idea comes from that you're gonna bring in the audience by fucking them.
Well,
So well, they're just gonna take this away. It's like fine, make them compete. I don't give a shit. But
Hey, there's plenty of people out there that love being fucked over no matter what, so long as they can go and wave their stupid little flag around and say, haha, I have the biggest dick because I have this console. You know,
Yeah,
fanboys.
here's the
Worthless
thing.
fucking
We're-
piles
we're
of
in-
crud.
True, but the job market is not what it was. People don't have the money to spend they once did, and if you didn't notice, stupid people are out of work.
yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
There's not a whole
Smart
lot of
people are out of
construction
work,
jobs
right.
going around to support the Call of Duty franchise.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because that's who plays these games, all right?
Oh, no.
Ordinary, average jack-offs who fucking work at Walmart and all those places. Okay, those places are letting people go, and so, those dollars are drying up.
Dried up already, you mean?
Now, do they still? I have to ask this question: do they still have the tactical espionage action tagline on the fucking game? Just to return to the subject of Metal Gear Solid.
I think they do, yes.
Because that always
False advertising.
But they
I know that always hit me square in the fucking nutsack. You're playing a rocket launcher version of William Tell with a fucking Megazord, while cyborg ninjas are doing synchronized slow-mo Animu Cirque du Soleil routines to avoid fucking blankets of rifle fire. That's some stealthy ass shit, folks.
Oh, you should
Not to mention
you should
smoking
see
the
the
whole time.
Revengeance tagline.
That's true.
Hey, Revengeance at the very least isn't trying to fucking lie to everybody. I mean, this is made by fucking the people that made Devil May Cry and Bayonetta, so you already know what you're gonna get. They're not trying to say, oh, you're sneaking around. They're like, no, you're gonna go fucking nuts and kill everything.
Yeah. I always wondered how everybody in the world didn't hear Solid Snake talking, too, because of David fucking Hayter's voice acting.
Oh.
He's like, Otacon, the frequency is 101.8. My performance makes Jim Carrey look fucking subtle. Ugh. He's like clearing his throat the whole fucking time. How, like, and he's sitting on the like behind a box with a guard to his back to him, like not 4 feet from him.
Yeah, it's like, is Christian Bale around here somewhere?
Well, if he was, I think Christian Bale would, at the very least, would be like, he'd sound a little like this. Metal Gear.
Hey, no, wait, that's
No,
young.
you forgot to exaggerate the gear bit. It's Metal Gear.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sounds like Macho Man, doesn't it? Macho Man, Randy Savage has come back from the dead.
Yeah.
I wish he would set some things right in the world.
He would.
No, I really just wish I
President
could hear
Bleach
Solid
Bomb.
Snake go, Harvey Dent.
Bears and rabbits.
Dude, I guarantee there's gonna be somebody who's like, I can't believe they are saying anything bad about David Hayter in Metal Gear Solid. I am going to go to the keyboard and man my muscles.
The funniest part is so many of them know who that guy was. It David Hayter?
Hater.
David Hayter.
Hayter.
Okay, everyone knows who David Hayter is. That's amazing to me.
No, I welcome it. I bring it on. Can anyone explain to me why anyone with more than 5 synaptic pathways to carry a fucking static charge would dare to describe David Hayter's voice acting as Solid Snake as even faintly resembling good?
No,
Seriously.
it's not
He's
good.
not good. It's cartoony and ridiculous and over the top, and I've always felt that way. Like, back when the first game was released, I said it on PlayStation, I'm like, he sounds ridiculous.
So
But-
please leave your comments down below in your defense of David Hayter.
He
And
was-
if you guys have got free time, you fine hate fans, if you've got time, please leave a comment down below describing why is it I sound like Overlord. Can someone explain that to me, please?
Yeah, and why people can't actually figure
I
out
get
who
these
the fuck
messages all day long from on my Facebook and in my YouTube mailbox and so on. Even here in the Hatecast mailbox about how I sound like Overlord, and I don't know what that is, but I have heard what it's supposed to sound from Call of Duty, right?
No, I thought Overlord was the game for 360.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
there's
apparently it's something.
Overlord 1 and 2.
Some character in Call of Duty, one of the first-person shooters, called Overlord, and apparently
I
I
have-
sound like that.
I have no fucking clue then.
So, yeah, see, I'm very lost. So, guys, explain it because we're old. Anyway, moving on.
Somebody said
Uh,
I look like Captain Price.
Captain Price.
Yeah, out of Call of Duty. I was like, what?
That's okay.
Oh.
I got told that I sound like two different people, and I was amused by both, but I sound like the one fucking doctor from Scrubs, and I sound like a metal version of Sheldon from that. Damn it, now I can't. Oh, The Big Bang Theory. Sorry, I had a
Big
brain
Bang
fart there.
Theory.
You're Dr. Cox and Sheldon.
Dr.
Yes,
Cox.
thank you.
know,
Dr.
do
Cox,
kinda-
that was the name.
You do kind of have a Dr. Cox thing going on. A little
It's
bit.
Alpha Omega Cox.
Dude, here's the thing. I got bored because I haven't watched Scrubs in fucking forever. I looked it up because I've seen this comment so many fucking times. I was like, all right, man, I'm looking this shit up, and I've got to see this. So I watched it, and it was a Dr. Cox fucking a rant collage. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I click play. I maximize the video on my TV, and I'm like, oh my god. They're right. I really do. Fucking messed up, man. Like, what the fuck? I thought they're looking at it. I was like, I can't believe this. And it's like, the good thing is it's a character I actually like, but
know,
it's
he's
just
great.
one of those. I didn't put two and two together because I never go, wow, that person sounds a lot like me. The resemblance is uncanny. You know, that never fucking comes to mind. But this dude's flipping his fucking shit about any random thing. I'm like, damn, that's something else. Well, hold my fucking balls. I definitely have to agree.
I'd say Yo Chaos would be the janitor then.
You know what? He was in The Fugitive, you know.
Yes, I know.
Anyway, can I tell a joke from Scrubs that I've only seen 1 or 2 episodes of Scrubs? What's the Alpha? You watched that show? What's the black guy's name? Turk.
Turk.
I remember when they were discussing about him living with his new girlfriend, the
Carla.
Spanish, the broad, and
The Spanish broad.
he talks about what's it like living with her, and he goes, well, it's not so bad. And he looks at him and goes, how bad? And he says, well, sometimes I watch Roots to remind myself how good I have it. That's all. Anyway, that brings us to halftime. That was another one on the list that wasn't going to make it onto the podcast, but oh well, I forgot to cross it out. Anyway, that moves us into halftime, and we're going back into the female placenta bag.
Barbara Streisand.
All right, and our first one comes from
Streisand.
Barbara Streisand bag. Well, that's wouldn't that be redundant?
Barbara Streisand.
Anyway.
The shrieking leftist cunt bag? What?
I thought that was Barbara Walters.
Oh. Anyways, continuing on.
Could have been Barbara Bush.
Barbara
Won't they
Bush.
just melt into one being eventually?
I think so.
I think we should call the mailbag Barbara then.
The Barbara. Welcome to the Hate Bit Barbara.
Yes.
Anyway, our first piece of mail for this segment. Don't forget, if you have a question of any kind, anything, we're desperate. Please send it to the hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. Drop it off at facebook.com/hatebitpodcast or drop it right here in the inbox on YouTube. Anyway, our next piece of mail comes from Joseph Williams, and Joseph says, Episode 5, can we get a real discussion? He says, first, I love the podcast and keep the hate flowing. If you guys hate Capcom, more power to you. We share that in common, but fuck you. Well, Joseph Williams, fuck you. Who do you think you are talking to me like that on my show?
Your
Anyway.
show? Who do you think you fucking are?
One reading,
Uh-oh.
and when you read something, you can call it your show. But in the meantime, I'm defending us, so be quiet.
It's our show, bitch. Get that right.
Oh.
Oh, get it right.
Please.
Yeah, get it right. It's my show.
It's
Get it
our
right.
show. Get
That's
it.
what it is.
There is no
Anyway.
mine. There is no
Anyway,
thing.
he goes on to say that Namco is not Capcom. I knew that. And he said, Harada and Namco's Tekken team never charges DLC and add-on clothes for characters. Do some research. Well, can I suggest that you get yourself some punctuation? He says, Tekken 6 is a testament to TOO that, and as far as Tekken X Street Fighter, they've already said that their THERE taking their THERA time to make it a unique experience.
Is he French?
If you don't know much about fighters, fine, but don't cast a broad stroke of company cause some hatred of Capcom. Joseph Williams, are you from this country?
I know. Are you? What the hell?
I hope I'm not
And is
insulting
he?
you when I tell
Is
you
he
to
from the
fuck
English-speaking
yourself and
world?
everyone you care about.
And is he
But
actually? Is he actually deigning to? Is he daring to defend these modern Capcom fighters? Seriously?
I don't know if he's asking a
Well,
question,
I
making
think
a
what he's saying is that he doesn't want us comparing Namco to Capcom because Namco doesn't have the same shady business practices as Capcom does with their fighting games, the downloadable content, and the nickel and diming.
It's not the case.
And that's
But here,
true.
there's one thing I'll actually say in our defense of that episode is we didn't say that is what they were going to do. We were saying that that's what they can and could do. You know, when we're talking about things that they could go and potentially take out, and keep in mind it's a joint project. They don't, you know, there has to be say so on both ends to get the green light and everything. But ultimately, we weren't saying that is what Namco's doing, and I wouldn't ever dare fucking compare Namco, actually many companies, to Capcom as far as this generation of doing absurd shit as far as like a game publisher goes, except for Activision and Electronic Arts, but that's a different story. So yeah, just calm down.
The difference between Capcom and Namco is Capcom do these shady DLC bullshit, and that winds up making their games seem like shit. Namco are just good old-fashioned fucking gibbering retards, and they ruin their games for no other reason than they have no fucking clue what they're doing. They ruined the last 3 Soul Calibur games. They have absolutely no clue what they're doing with Tekken. Street Fighter X Tekken was awful. Tekken X Street Fighter, I have no doubt in my mind, will be just as bad. And that's the difference.
Yeah,
just plain old retards versus capitalism-induced retardation.
And where he said that they don't charge for any DLC whatsoever, that's fucking bullshit. Because if you look at 2 small little games called Soul Calibur 4 and Soul Calibur 5, there is actually download content for fucking bits of fucking clothing for your characters. Yes, they might only cost a couple of pound or a couple of dollars, but it's fucking, you pay for it to have it on your system. So, eat a dick.
So basically, they're in a nutshell is they can do it if they want to. So just be careful because you never know. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Well, yeah, they don't charge for characters. What about Darth Vader on the 360 version? What about
Yoda on the PS3 version?
Yeah, same thing.
2
You have
most
to pay
pointless
for them.
characters ever on a fucking game.
Completely.
Yeah, those
pointless.
2 characters, I still to this day fucking retch at the concept that they were thrown in, and it's not because I hate Star Wars. I fucking love Star Wars.
Yeah, me
But
too.
the thing is, I'm sorry, they have no fucking place in that at all. I understand that it's fan service, and I'm all about fan service, but there are so many characters I could pick from like the video game universe, or even like from movies or comics or some other fucking random source of entertainment, and put them in that would meld well with the universe. You know, I mean, when they put Link in from Legend of Zelda into Soul Calibur 2, I was just like, hey, oh, that actually doesn't look too weird. When they put Heihachi in, I was like, that's weird. He doesn't have a fucking weapon, but at least he's a Namco character and a fighting character. He just, I don't know, needs a weapon. You know,
Yeah.
Soul Calibur, weapon, hello? Huh? Anything?
I
But,
thought
and
Spawn was a good one.
I honestly didn't like Spawn being in it. I thought that was weird. It didn't make any sense to me. He just
I don't know.
he stood
I
out.
never played the Xbox version of that game, so I have no idea if Spawn was good or not.
What was the name of the boss at the end of that Todd McFarlane designed? Necrid or some shit?
I
can't remember his
Necrid.
fucking name. Is it
Necrid.
that?
Yeah, I think so.
remember seeing that, and like it reminded me of the first wave of fucking Spawn toys where they all looked pretty much really retarded. And I just looked at that and I was like, they really gave this to OK. It looks like a generic monster from a fucking beat 'em up. You're kidding me.
Yep.
This is your final boss? Christ on a stick. So yeah, sorry, going off in a different direction here with
Actually, Christ was on 2 sticks.
Yeah, that's a very good. That's a good point. It's like
Oh,
a
we're
stick thing.
right. We're moving on.
Ouch!
From
You really nailed that one, Yell Chaos.
that.
Heyo! Anyway, we move on down and further and deeper and slimier into the female bag. Barbara Streisand, beg pardon.
Barbara back.
The Barbara bag. And our next message comes to us once again at gmail.com. And it says, it's from Justin Coates, tricerarock at gmail.com. And Justin says, greetings from Kuwait. Greetings.
Greetings.
He says, I am a. Anybody else want to send greetings?
Greetings. There we go. We've all
Greetings?
said it now.
There you go. He goes on to say, I am a U.S. Army soldier about to be in Colorado in 3 months after being in the desert for a year. Well, I live in the desert in Los Angeles, and so does Razor Fist. Maybe
So do
we
I.
saw you.
Yeah.
I know. No, we appreciate what you said there and what you do and so on. He says, I listen to your podcast and it helps pass the days. Can I get you guys to say Michelle is beautiful for me?
Michelle is beautiful.
Wait. It would make her day and my day too. All right, well, here we go. On three. 1, 2, 3.
Michelle is beautiful.
Actually, I'll throw in a bonus for you there. Michelle totemo no kirei desu yo.
Ooh.
Oh, wait.
Well, if you're going to throw something, I should throw it. You are so beautiful. Anyway.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Like Bruce Randolph. Yeah.
Sorry you've been
Anyway.
stuck out in that sand pit for a year, mate. Hope you come home safe very, very soon. From one soldier to another.
He's going to be in the snow pit. But or only for 3 months, so throughout the summer. It's a nice time in Colorado in the summer, I assure you. He goes on to say, anyway, here's hoping Dishonored is a true stealth game in the tradition of Thief. How great would that be? Razor Fist, how great would that be?
That would be great, and my erection would be massive.
That would be great gravy. End of story.
No, I asked you, the direction is that great. Would it be legal to carry in the state of Arizona?
No.
Yes.
You don't have rules about that sort of thing yet?
No, it would be so long and so throbbing I would be able to fuck women in France from here. From here.
Was that the big throbbing wang you were discussing earlier on one of my videos?
We were discussing throbbing wangs?
We're discussing throbbing wang, I assure you.
I don't know.
Well.
Meth is a hell of a drug.
Oh, God.
And we thank you for bringing us such information. He does them so you don't have to. So Justin Coates, we thank you very much, and we appreciate your mail. And once again, Michelle is beautiful.
Yeah, and
Yeah, dude.
honestly, dude, from everyone on this podcast, I hope you get home safe and you're not having to put up with too much shit.
Yeah. Now, in fact, you probably shouldn't tell us that she's beautiful because then we're gonna find her. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, because
Behave.
Sainted will hunt her down.
I was going to say, you guys got to be careful because that could be his daughter.
I know, right?
Just saying.
Yeah.
That could be his daughter. Either way, man,
We're
you know,
to bring
thank
ice
you.
cream. How about that?
Yeah.
Would you be opposed to bringing her ice cream?
I'm not going near this conversation.
No, I'm staying away from it. I think
Dude, you have no idea how many like angry fathers I've encountered in my life, so I'm not going near this conversation. Scary.
Good stuff.
I'm great for
Yeah.
destroying such a wonderful message from a soldier that's actually serving to maintain
Yeah,
your rights.
But we are the Hate Bit Podcast, and we wreck homes, so you don't have to.
Yeah, that's a good point. We do
Anyway,
it on a
so-
professional level.
On a professional level, I mean, we are detailed down to the last nook and cranny.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're better than that
only-
Ty Peddington.
You ruin your marriage, we'll slap your wife several times.
We're better than Ty Peddington.
That too. We'll even work up a Tiger Woods on her. That way she'll try and run the car through. Never mind, that's not important.
Anyway, what's
our
next?
Comes from Adder Moray, and he says digital distribution. He says, hey.
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 He's just been enjoying the podcast since episode 1, and just as, and then in parentheses he says both proverbial and literal. She said, "The longer the better."
Hey.
Heyo.
Hey.
Heyo.
Gentlemen, While every company these days is looking to bend the consumer over the nearest table and rail them up the ass for all they're worth, I must say at least Nintendo takes us out for dinner and is liberal with the application of loop. You know what? I'm going to take a second to agree with that. That's one thing. People say, why do you like Nintendo? It's because they at least make some sort of an effort to maintain the illusion they give a shit about me. You know, with Hanafuda cards and shit. Anyway, he said, can't tell this is about their plans for their downloadable first-party games that you addressed in an earlier video. Honestly, if the world is heading for digital, and Lord knows I dread that inevitability, this is the way to do it, at least compared to the alternatives. As you said, Nintendo will be selling digital copies of other games day and date with the physical releases for full price. Boo! However, the rope thrown to us in this sinkhole of shit is that they'll be selling redeemable codes for digital titles to retailers for a reduced price compared to the physical copies. Now, I know you're asking, okay, when the fuck does this start to sound interesting? He says, well, the thing about the codes is they aren't setting an MSRP on them. Basically, retailers will be able to sell them for whatever the hell they want. Now, if not for the physical copies and Nintendo's selling the games for the same price as them on their network, this would give them licenses to charge us another arm and leg. However, with those in place, that becomes the maximum they will sell the codes for, and with the wider profit margin to be made, even were they to sell the codes at a discount, retailers now have active encouragement to sell us the games for less, especially when competition from other stores comes into play. Whether or not this plays out this way, I can't say. You could go by the bay, play with some
What's the
clay,
question?
at least with its possibility, with the caveat that yes, everyone's going to be shooting for digital sales from this point onwards. What do you think of this system? Oh my God, Adamore, I'm going to die now.
Yay.
I
Fuck.
don't really know what the question was, but what do I think? I think it's a bunch of shit either way.
I see it as another excuse for GameStop to charge you $60 for a fucking piece of paper.
Well, I don't understand that. That doesn't sound right at all. I don't think that, because in that case they would sell what? I mean, how how would there be accountability for that? I don't understand.
Well, think about it. You buy an EA game, that's already fucking... You're already getting charged for a fucking piece of paper that's no use in an ornament.
No, but I mean, if they're going to be able to charge whatever the hell they want, it's got to cost them something.
Well, they're getting given these probably for a cut cost, and then they're going to try and sell it for as close to the $60 price mark as they can possibly get. And to be quite honest, if they're doing that, then you might as well just stop gaming now and go retro. That's my opinion.
Well, that's a bit of a defeatist attitude, wouldn't you say?
Well, to be honest, this whole digital only thing is a load of bullshit anyway. And
This digital only thing is going to happen over my dead fucking body.
well, it's going to happen over your live body at this rate. So
Yeah, I was gonna
well,
say,
I don't-
man,
you know-
at that point you might as well just fucking go and kill yourself because it's gonna happen, whether we
Oh,
want
and
it to or not.
In a perfect
I'm gonna
world,
eat 2 sticks.
yeah.
I'm gonna put, gonna crucify myself in the front in Kyoto, in front of the Big N building.
I can't wait to see that news article. We're
I'm
gonna go to
picturing-
Kotaku and see Yell Chaos fucking on the news.
Yeah,
I
I'm picturing Yell Chaos standing in front of a big digital tank. The tank trying to move, and he's stepping in front of it. That's what I'm picturing in Tiananmen Square.
I got a headband on. Halt!
Yes!
Well, we might have to do that. Anyway, I think that's all for what's in the female bag for right now. But
Bob,
if you have any questions of any kind, please drop us a comment, drop us a personal message here on the YouTube. You can also find us at facebook.com. You can find all those links down below in the description box. Also, don't forget to drop us a line at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. Anyway, time to move into our second half. And let me see here. The very first thing on the chopping block, AlphaOmegaSin has got a big announcement. AlphaOmegaSin?
Yeah, sort of a big announcement, I guess. So, all right, if you tuned into the last podcast and actually commented about this, then you already know what it's about. But basically, everybody was wondering, why the fuck don't you have your own videos uploaded onto the channel like everybody else does? And that was because I couldn't figure out what the fuck I want to do. And I didn't want to just go and rehash the same shit I do on my channel and then post it onto the 8-Bit channel because that'd just be redundant. So I said, everybody, go and throw out your ideas. Now I'm going to read off a couple of them here, and then me and the fellers are going to try to figure out which one will be the best. So as I clear my throat like a whore on a corner. Let's see. Killa Creed 3 Mil said, "Hey Alpha, how about a retrospective show? As vague of a concept as that is possible. I would just have to figure out exactly what I want to go and talk about. Let's see. Al Kaiser 88 said, AlphaOmegaSin 8-Bit podcast series, the beginning and the end. Talk about the history of game companies up to present day and what he thinks their end will be. Not too bad of an idea. Warcry of the Angel said, I think AlphaOmegaSin should put a Smash series on the 8-Bit channel, call it the beginning of the end of shit. And I can already do that on my channel, so that I won't do. Let's see. Hey, AlphaOmegaSin, your mini-series channel should be video game dedications to dead IPs and companies and your thoughts about them being axed and whatnot. That I actually do like. Sir Jolithan, I don't know how to say your fucking name, I'm sorry, man. But said, I think Omega Show should be Alpha Omega Assassin, where he goes out and kills shit game developers with a sledgehammer and other miscellaneous stuff. If I could do that, I assure you I'd be doing it every fucking day. I'd be killing a lot more than game developers, so I'd be a mass murderer, but, you know.
Yeah,
whatever.
kill Michael Bay.
Yeah, oh man, that'd be way too fun. I'd make that into a mini series in itself.
Yeah, a mini series called Catharsis.
There's one more I want to read off just because it actually made me laugh. Wezzy Poo said, hold on, it should be called Alpha Omega Win, where he challenges very young children to gaming duels and always wins. Then he gloats, always making them cry. I have to say 100% I would do something like that. Like play them and then I win the race and look down at them like, were you even fucking trying? Get to throw their controller. Like, get out of my fucking sight, you make me sick.
You know what you should do after that is you should like have a fist fight with them, but they start to win. You do like in Grand Theft Auto and just shoot them.
Yeah, just pull out a gun, like, nah, this ain't working.
It's like, what, you think you bad?
No, I think you should do what the Mass did and pull out those fucking stupid sized bloody guns with about 6 billion barrels on each side, and they just pulls the trigger and goes bang.
Or put them on a catapult and just right into a fucking brick wall.
Oh, that could work.
Sweet and simple. Here, basically, to me, my favorite ideas out of this would probably be the beginning of the end, talking about game companies up to present day and what I think their end will be, and the other one being talking about dead IPs and, you know, about them being axed, etc. I don't know what is everybody else's thoughts as to what would be pretty neato-rific.
Who's going to take it? Oh, guess it'll be me. I'd say go with the Dead IPs one, because that sounds pretty good. Good concept.
I was actually in favor of you having a softcore porn show called The Den of Sin.
Yeah, I trust me, I'd like that idea too much, though. It would get banned immediately.
Dude, yeah,
I don't want the channel to get shut down.
Well, yeah, but then we could have, like, you know, gamer porn, man.
But I've
But that means you'd have to do all of them.
That's unwise. That's unwise, because, dude, Jim Sterling is a gamer. All right, so calm down.
Jim Sterling's a gamer?
Nobody wants that guy taking that tarp off of his body. Not gonna happen. Fucking moo-moo that he wears, whatever the fuck that is.
I know, man. You know,
Dude, a black trench coat is slimming. No, it is not. Not when you're that fucking fat.
Yeah, a black trench coat is slimming. It doesn't do a whole... Glad bags don't look that great on anything.
They do, just you know,
it's the
for
same
your
vibe, man. It's shiny and stuff.
If you're getting rid of dead bodies, it looks pretty decent.
Yeah, nothing is slimming when you're big enough to balance a SeaWorld trainer on your fucking nose. Sorry, ass.
No, nothing is slimming when you have your own gravitational pull.
No.
In fact, maybe that's what's holding the code on.
For me, you know, I'd go with something simple. I'd go with, like, just a series where you only talk about retro games, or only talk about new games, or only something like that. So, basically like your own show, but relegated to a specific category of gaming. That's just me. I don't have a snappy title though yet. Give me about a minute.
Alpha male.
Alpha Omega Win actually works for me.
Now, Mr. Chaos, what are your thoughts? Do you like the ideas that were presented, or do you have your own? Huh?
I was voting Den of Sin, really.
Oh, so you want me to do the softcore porn bit?
Yeah, if that's what you want to do. Well, we talked about that earlier in the week, so that's what you
yeah,
want to do.
If you're gonna make, dude, if you're gonna make porn, then just call it Alpha Omega Sin.
Yeah.
That's nice. Or you know what? You should do Alpha Omega Win, but in fact, it's just footage of you going around beating up old ladies at convenience stores.
I don't know. There's been a couple times where I was walking through the mall and I thought about just clotheslining them off the fucking second floor little banister railing to the first floor right through a random kiosk. I'd feel a lot better. Oh, and segways. But I mean, out of the ideas, I mean, man, I don't know what I want to pick, so that's why I'm like, you're all my go-to guys now.
Well,
so.
you gotta want to do it, because I wanted to do the Razor's Edge, and Yell
Oh no,
Chaos.
I want to do something. I see. I'm indecisive, man. That's my fucking problem. It's like no matter.
My show came about because I hate the audience.
Exactly.
And then you never fucking made any more videos.
I've been busy, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Been busy with your shitty internet connection.
Yeah.
That's exactly. So you have to work twice as hard.
I think the thing that I actually will end up going with is the thing about dead IPs and the dead companies and whatnot. I honestly dig that one the most, just because there's too many times where I talk about something and people are like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "You don't know."
You know what you should do? Do you when you film your videos by yourself?
Yeah.
You know what you should just do, like in the kitchen, when people are over like eating or doing dishes, just talk about it right there. Make everyone else really uncomfortable. Don't tell them you're gonna do it either. Just like start recording. Hey, Alpha OmegaSin, and those people are doing dishes because they're bitches.
Well, the thing is, I have done videos.
I'd watch that. I really would.
I've had family down. I've had my girlfriend down while I was doing videos, and I'm always just like, all right, I need you to just shut the fuck up for 5 minutes. Yeah. And then it turns into 15 minutes. I'm like, thank you for shutting the fuck up for that entire duration. That is super cool of you.
Thank you for not being a bitch.
Like, it'll be one of those things like, I'll do it one entire take like I do in the entire video, and I'll fuck up one word. I'm like, well, gotta re-record the entire thing, because I can't just go and cut right here. Nope, gotta re-record the entire thing, because I'm a fucking moron. So, yeah. Anyway.
So it works.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll have more for you on that here on the Hate Bit podcast. So stay tuned, and you'll find out whether there's going to be softcore porn or punching babies or any number of things. It's never a dull moment here on the Hate Bit podcast channel.
Yeah, clotheslining old women, man. That might happen.
Old women, not just clotheslining them and they fall down, but off of a third-story ledge in a fucking shopping mall. That is entertainment, and you find folks can't find any entertainment anywhere else but right here on the Hate Bit podcast channel. So anyway,
not allowed.
Yeah, you're not allowed to. It's impossible.
Yeah,
as soon as we can afford to have a film crew follow us around all the time. Oh, this fucking channel is gonna be gangbusters. Anyway. What do we have to say about the Borderlands 2?
Ooh, yep. There's been 2 new special editions announced, apart from the from the standard edition. Now there's 2. There's one called the Deluxe Vault Hunters Collector's Edition, and the Ultimate Loot Chest Collector's Edition. The Deluxe Vault Hunters Collector's Edition comes with 4 stickers, a game case, a authentic Marcus bobblehead, a downloadable comic, and a hardback art book. In the loot chest one, the box is actually a loot chest. Comes with all the stuff that's inside the Vault Hunters gear. Also comes with a cloth map, which is pretty damn awesome. What else have they got?
The cloth
doing
map
the
makes me
Skyrim
think of
thing
Lunar
with
One.
the cloth map again.
I know. They also got a wall chart, a certificate of authenticity, and a basic field notes from Sir Hammerlock. I'm assuming that's one of the characters. And also the game comes in a nice fucking steel tin. So
That's all.
pricing of them for the ultimate. Let's see, have they got any pricings on here? Right, for a mere $100 for the Deluxe Vault Hunters edition, and
Jesus.
add another 50 if you want the Ultimate Loot Chest edition. So
Look, I can say legitimately, the fucking $150 one is the one I just looked at and was like, my god, I have to have that. Because the little chest it comes in looks like a fucking toolbox, and it's the same exact thing where you get all your fucking ammo and weapons and grenades from inside the game. And it comes just with a ton of bullshit, like a ton of bullshit. And I was like, my god, my wallet's crying. I need to have this. Nerding,
oh yes,
nerding my way into fucking bankruptcy.
oh yes, I'm definitely gonna put down whatever money that's gonna cost me in the UK, because I think it's a nice collector's edition, and I'm pretty susceptible to a nice collector's edition.
Well, I plan on just paying it off little by little, like I have been with all the other games, because I pre-order shit like months and months in advance, and I'll just go to the store and I'll pay it off $5 and $10 here every so often, because I go to game stores frequently, and I'm just like, fuck it, here's a couple more bucks. Then by the time the game comes out, I don't feel nearly as bad as I would if I just walked in and dropped 60.
Yeah, exactly.
The term you're looking for is bullshitting yourself.
Yes. Oh, hey, it helps if you spend five.
Oh, sure. There are institutions that would not exist without a liberal dose of bullshit.
And churches.
That's true.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Well-
I'm definitely going to pick that up. Alpha's in the same camp. What about you, Mr. Razorfist? I'm sure you're susceptible to a first-person RPG.
I don't find it to be an RPG. I think it's a loot 'em up.
A loot 'em up.
That's pretty much what it is.
That's honestly pretty fucking accurate.
It
That
is.
I do agree with quite a bit.
It's like Diablo with guns, kind of.
And I'm absolutely fine with that, because they at the very least
it
do
was
it
fun.
well.
I have kind of mixed feelings about Borderlands, and that's my fault. It's not actually the game's fault. I was down with vicious pneumonia when I played the first Borderlands, so it could have jumped out of my 360 and blown me, and I still would have been unimpressed because I would felt like shit. So
You're gonna buy it.
I'll play it. I'm sure I'll probably review it. But yeah, I enjoyed the first game for what it is, but I was not in the right headspace to really get on board with the Borderlands hype train.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Let's just hope it doesn't turn out to be like another Duke Nukem, because
or another
dude,
Hitman Conviction.
I highly doubt that they're going to fuck this up based on a couple reasons. One, it's not straying far from the original formula. They're just building off the basic foundation of everything that worked well with it. All you have to do is look at the fucking very badass fucking DLC packs that they made for it. Good DLC when it's done right.
Oh
Check
yeah,
port-
it was done fantastically, the DLC for Borderlands.
Oh yeah, I'll tell anybody. I mean, if you're like Borderlands, well, fuck, I haven't played the first one. Please, for the love of shit, just go get the Game of the Year edition. It has everything. It's dirt cheap. It's like $20-$25, some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless like you're overseas and it's like pounds or euros or some shit. But anyway, it just get the fucking game. It's excellent. It really is. It's excellent. If you're in the Spanish-speaking countries. But no, it's awesome. I fucking wholeheartedly am behind it. Everybody I've forced to fucking game into their greasy little fucking sausage finger hands, then they liked it too. So there. And Chaos, you're too damn quiet.
It's
Oh,
not
I'm sorry.
Nintendo.
As usual, I'm knee deep and not giving a shit.
Oh, fine. Fuck you
well-
then.
There's no.
Fuck me? No. Fuck you.
Oh,
there's
fuck
no,
off.
there's not enough obese plumbers and snapping turtles in the game.
Yeah.
No, not at all. No, I just, it just never really struck me. Once again, it's just, first person games just don't really strike me that much. And I remember when, I saw the commercial for it. It's like, oh, okay. If somebody, like my brother-in-law or somebody gets it, I'll give it a shot. But I'm just not excited for it.
Oh, give it a shot. Go on.
No, I probably will. It's not top of my priority list. But a cloth map, gee willikers, man, how can I pass that up?
Dude, hey, I'll defend the cloth map
I like
for this very reason.
I'm not
It's
attacking
because
the
of
cloth
Lunar.
map. That's the thing.
You're not worried about it fucking tearing for starters.
Say again?
You're not worried about it fucking tearing for starters.
That's a good point, you know, and you don't have to follow the creases or anything. You
No.
can just tie it around your head.
Exactly. It's a bandana.
It's a
You would have to
yeah,
have like a crazy small head for that to fit.
I don't know. It'd probably be as big as the one that Skyrim got. That was pretty big.
I'm sorry, but if I see somebody running around wearing a Skyrim fucking bandana map, I'm going to instantly trip them into traffic. Be like, well then, I did everybody a favor today. Hooray!
Seriously,
Yeah.
you're not the.
I earned myself an ice cream.
I'd point at that asshole and say, "You're not the fucking Dragonborn, pal. You should have been the Stillborn." Jesus fucking
Well, you
Christ.
can't really point them since they're splattered on the front of a eastbound bus.
Well, there's that. I don't
At least
know.
we're
Most
being-
Just
most of these
make sure
most
it's
of these obese little fucktards would fucking damage the bus. So
What was that? We hit a nerd. How big was he? 500 pounds? All right, no matter then.
Oh, that's one of the medium ones, man. It is the convention season, you know.
There's the convention to the
Anyway,
big fatty.
well, that's good that we all had a little turn at Borderlands 2. But now we're on to our big segment, and
Oh yeah.
this is the big one here. Let's get ready. Anyway, you know, folks, we might be staring down the barrel of because, you know, E3, June the 5th, it's coming up. It's going to be here before you know it. And there's a lot of people, there's a lot of evidence, there's a lot of statistics and facts that lead us to believe that we're staring down the barrel of the last E3. And the first person to bring a lot of this to my attention was Razor Fist, and I would love Razor Fist to just tear it open.
yeah, basically, at the end of the day, there's just a lot of signs that point to, and I'm not saying it's going to be the last one, but it's going to be the last one of E3 as we know it, as the big event, you know, basically the big sexual climax in the middle of the year for the video game industry. But yeah, basically, it's like, for example, THQ normally has a big to-do at E3. Last year, they had the big car wash with all the Playboy models in bikinis to advertise Saints Row the Third. And the year before, they just always splooge, and they have a bunch of, you know, they have some big event. Now they're not going to be there at all. And
Is that where all their millions went?
that and into a casual game company that they just closed down.
Mm.
But anyways, so they're not going to be there. Blizzard is not going to be there. There's actually there's just a lot of big names like Valve that are not going to be at E3 this year at all. And what's interesting about this is it's starting to, I guess, shockwave outward. And a lot of these video game companies are not going to Gamescom in Germany or to PAX or to any of these. All these video games. We're not just talking about E3 here. It's all the video game, you know, festivals basically, and E3 by association, essentially. So there's just a lot of people are not going. Is the long and short.
You know what else really fucks over like the super huge conventions is the fact that a lot of like the bigger name publishers, you know, like Square Enix, for instance, will hold their own little convention of sorts where they pretty much just go out, they toot all their fucking horns, and then they're like, all right, well, that's all the stuff that we're showing off and everything that we normally would have saved for something like E3 or Tokyo Game Show or what the fuck ever convention you were going to. But no, we have our own so that we don't have to compete against anybody else. We are the top billing, we're the only billing, and yeah, that's it. So
Doesn't that sound like kind of like a bitch-ass move?
It is.
Like, we're not coming because you guys are going to make fun of us, so, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, to a certain point, it kind of makes sense, but I think it's also silly because, I mean, when you have something where you have a big clusterfuck of companies all coming together, all showing off their wares, you're getting not just like big video game coverage, but you're getting mass worldwide appeal, and things outside the video game industry will go and pay attention to this. When you have your own, just your own little fucking shindig, you know, your own little fucking block party, not nearly as many people are paying attention to you because they have to give a shit about you to begin with. And
but you can go too far in the other direction, too. I can still remember that fucking fiasco of a 2001 E3 where Snoop Dogg was showing up and acting like he knew the first fucking thing about PlayStation and Nintendo. And
Well, see, I mean, that's anything that gets the fucking mass media appeal. They'll go and hire any fuck nugget that they could possibly go and toss cash in their general direction and be like, hey, come here and fucking read off these lines. Please memorize them and don't fuck up when you go out there. And if you do, ad lib real fucking good, please. It'd be fucking fantastic. But no, I agree. They have these fucking people that have no fucking reason to be there. And they make you cringe when they talk. I mean, they're pretty much as bad as like the fucking suits that show up and act like they're interested in fucking playing Wii Sports Resort, when that happened, and that was all fucking awkward. And they're like, "Hi, I'm playing with the dog. Look, it's just I'm forcing this smile as hard as I can, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need surgery after this show. I'm fucked."
Yeah,
So,
it's kind
yeah.
of like watching a professional wrestler be interviewed on a real sports show.
Oh.
It's just like, oh no, he's gonna do the brother thing, isn't he? Oh no, fuck, I want to kill myself.
Or whenever you're the Big Show and you have to go and act like you're really that fucking, you're really crying as much as you are over being fired, quote unquote. I'm sorry if nobody caught that episode of Raw. It's going over a lot of people's heads, but I got to catch it and it was bad, very bad, and like overplayed.
In
Let's
that
step off
episode,
topic for a second. What?
Okay. Here, do you want to explain it?
Big Show was fake fired by the general manager of Raw, and he sat there for, and I do not exaggerate the time frame, for exactly 15 minutes, and cried on camera.
Yeah.
And that was.
And beyond that, they also played up this thing where they kept making it progressively worse. He was like, no, you can't just apologize. I want you to get on your knees. And they dragged us out so fucking far. I could actually see with x-ray vision of all the talent in the back going, man, I wish that they wouldn't put me in dark matches and actually have me out there doing something.
Yeah, they could do a couple of fucking Stridex commercials instead of this.
Dude, honestly, I would have rathered that. It was just like, you could have gotten this done in 2 minutes.
No, and WWE paid the price. It scored the lowest rating for Raw of the year, and in several years, it scored like a 2.9, which is like a 1997
I don't know
rating.
what gives them the idea that they're an actual television program.
They're not. They're let's see. What are they mainly? Let's see. They're an hour and a half long show. And they also brag about more people watched us than everybody combined who ever watched the NBA playoffs. Please like us on Twitter. This is now trending, even though it's not trending, but we're telling you it is. But anyway, this is turning into a WWE rant. Long story short,
Back to E3 in Los Angeles.
Yeah, E3, it's just, we don't need more bad actors going out there trying to fucking sell this shit, like really try to sell it when they know that it's fucking garbage, and they're just like, all right, paid actor, actress, entertainment star, whoever you are, that rhymed unintentionally, but please, by all means, make this sound better than it really is, and it's fucking horrid.
Let's just hope they don't have Mr. Caffeine again.
Yeah, dude, Mr. Caffeine, I'm telling you, like, if he goes out on stage, he's probably going to end up getting shot. I legitimately can imagine somebody's taking a gun with them and just waiting.
You should have got shot last year. Sorry, but I watched the Ubisoft fucking press conference last year, and I was like, why am I watching this?
Dude, like last E3, that was with Mr. Caffeine. That was last year's E3. Sorry, I get the shit mixed up. That was one of the worst E3s I've ever seen in my entire fucking existence of knowing about E3. It sent chills up my spine that most obese women can only do by fucking disrobing. It was fucking. Yeah, dude, it was such a fucking train wreck from start to finish. Like, nothing really went well. It was a fucking. Please share some of your fucking memories of last year's E3, folks. But yeah, you guys, I know that some of you three definitely have something to say about last year besides Mr. Caffeine.
I watched the Ubisoft press conference. I watched the Sony press conference, and to be quite honest, all they fucking prackled on about was motion this and motion that.
Yeah. And that was basically it.
We watched you touch your prick.
That was all three fucking three main press conferences. Was the Kinect, the fucking PlayStation Move and Vita, and the Wii U and motion controls on the fucking Wii. Oh, and Zelda's big fucking fanfare.
Well, here's the thing that really just, you know, bummed me out is, they went to great strides to talk about the Wii U, and you could hear the entire when they announced the name for the Wii U, you could hear the entire audience go, "Oh,
Mm.
all right, we're still doing that." I figured that had kind of passed, but and then they came on like gangbusters with, "Oh, it can do this, and it can do that, and it can do this, and look at this Zelda footage," and everyone's like, "Did you see the Zelda footage? Oh my goodness, this is amazing! This is going to be the best thing ever!" And then of course, a couple hours, within that week, they were like, "No, that's not actually a game. That's just a pretty picture to sell you a device."
Dude, you
And
want to
then
know what that was? It was the unofficial fucking offspring of when they showed off the PS3 with the Final Fantasy VII fucking tech demo. And people lost their goddamn fucking heads over it, myself included. I saw it. I seriously was just like, my dick will never go limp again, and I'm going to have to buy all new pants. All right, seeing that, I was fucking done, dude. I was like, this is fucking great. If you ate FF7, that's all fucking fine and dandy. But the thing is, I was fucking excited that the fucking Legend of Zelda demo, same fucking thing. Then they're like, oh no, herder, that is a tech demo, not a real game. And it's like, you are such a fucking asshole on
yeah,
so many
exactly.
levels.
I'm in the same boat as you, Alpha, because I was one of those poor bastards that literally fucking shut his shorts when he saw that they made a the Final Fantasy VII tech demo, and it was the intro to the game, and it
Yeah.
looked fucking unbelievable. And still to this day, we're waiting 7 years down the line, still waiting for this elusive demo to be made into a real game, and they keep teasing us with it. They really
Yeah,
do.
they'll cock tease till they're almost bankrupt and need to fucking get something going to get their money back. But that's neither here nor there. But the one thing, and this was before the podcast started, everyone. We were actually talking about E3 and everything, and one of the things that I had brought up, and I mean, it really bothers me on so many fucking levels. I could choke an entire fucking orphanage. Is if you remember during like their entire fucking reach around thing of the Connect, just fucking absolutely working its fucking meat in front of an entire live audience, they decided that they were gonna have paid little child actors and little actresses come out on stage.
God.
Like, come on, honey, come on out on stage. And they went out there and they had to act like they were playing with their little fucking Connectimals. Is that what it's called? I think that's the name.
Yeah, there's Connectimals, and then Sony's got their own version called iPet.
Basically, okay, and then we got Nintendogs, and all of them can go get fucked.
Hold on a second. It's called iPet?
Yes.
Is that not the most suggestive name you have ever heard in your life?
Mm. Yes, I know. You should see the Move version.
Boy, that reminds me of junior high.
I know, right?
You should see the Move version.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
iPet.
Oh,
They should just cut out the middleman and call it I masturbate furiously.
See, here's the thing that I want to know, and genuinely, after last year's of them trying very, very, very fucking late, like how many years late, jumping on the entire like motion control bandwagon, if they're even going to bring up Connect and Move like at all, I'm sure that they will, but I hope that they do not dedicate much of shit worth of time to it, and they're just like new IPs and much needed sequels and stuff like that. Here you go, bountiful.
Well, let's fix those next generation consoles that they, never mind.
Well, every single year somebody says, well, this company won, or this company won, or whatever. Last year, all three companies lost.
Oh yeah,
that's all there is to
wait,
it.
You know who lost the most? Gamers, who sat there through it and were just like, "Wow, I seriously just got knocked down a couple pegs on the fucking IQ rating. I'm fucked permanently now. Thank you, E3." But that's something they need to look at last year, like and just realize all of that failed. And if you do back-to-back like super fail E3s. And it's just you can't do that. Also, fuck G4. I had to throw that out there because I saw commercials for them.
If I were to say that anybody won last year, Nintendo won simply because they shook up Sony and Microsoft. Because as soon as the Wii U was announced, oh well, there's a PlayStation 4 and there's an Xbox 720 and and all that horse shit.
Well,
Yeah.
You know, they kind of shook everybody up. But Nintendo's major failing was, look, we have this machine that can do this, it can do this, it can do this, it can do this. It's fucking amazing. Did you know it's amazing? Well, what games does it have? Well, that's not important. What's important is that you can flick ninja stars with it, and you can simulate a lie of a golf ball. That's the most important thing.
can I
So
the-
I'm excited as shit for the Wii U. Make no mistake about that. You can hear that in my voice.
One
But
thing I want
I'm
them to actually show off.
doesn't appear to do anything.
can I just say something a bit off topic?
Please.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
BG singer Robin Gibb died at 62.
Who did?
Robin Gibb
From the Bee Gees?
from the Bee Gees. He's dead.
Aw.
He died of cancer.
Oh, and Donna
Cancer.
Summer went just the other day.
Yeah, he
What's
just
that?
died of cancer. So
Damn.
It was, well, you know, they worked hard for the money. You know.
yes,
Condolences.
yes. Condolences to his family and friends.
Yes.
Didn't
Yes,
one
Rob-
of the didn't
or the
one of the
woman-
other Bee Gees like just die
I
like
think
a couple months ago?
I know one's been dead for a few years.
Yeah, I know about that one.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's E3.
Yeah, so Bee Gees talk and disco aside.
Becomes less annoying.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but this year, the major thing that they really need to, they need to work on is showing off everything that's going to do price point, which is going to be obvious. They're going to have all their fucking eggs in a basket because I mean the launch is going to be this fall. So
Yeah.
obviously we're going to be getting like the nitty gritty. I would like to see what their online plans are. I want to know exactly how the Wii remotes are going to be used in conjunction with the system. I want to know about a real fucking launch lineup. I want to know about exclusive titles. I want to know about new first-party IPs. Where the fuck is F-Zero at?
Well,
you know,
here's
a
the
bunch
thing.
of
For
shit.
everyone across the board, they need to get this idea through their skulls. You need to make this shit pretty inexpensive because, you know, this holiday season is not going to be the hot shit that everyone's expecting it to be, and you need to really compete this time.
Oh, dude, this gen, like this entire gen, has been a prime example of it doesn't matter what you're boasting under a fucking hood, people don't want to fucking pay for it.
No,
They
that's
want to be able to
Yeah.
play fucking video games. When the PS3,
Yeah.
when they announced it at fucking E3 like eons ago, and they said the price point, I mean, it was fucking dead silent. And
It
they
was a
tried
lot-
going
people-
off
there
and
were
talking
people-
about why.
There were people laughing. At $599 US, that became an internet meme, and then they let that guy run the company. Genius.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's right.
Yeah, I mean, $599 wasn't going to fly, and that system didn't. It wasn't going to fly even if you had the best of fucking best games for it. And the thing is, the 3DS, another prime example, wasn't going to fly at its price point. The Vita, not going to fly at its price point. People are
still
not
isn't.
willing to fucking pay that much, so bring it out at a good price point. And here's something I'll ask you guys. What do you think is going to be like? What do you think would be the best price for the Nintendo Wii U when it launches? Like reasonably the best.
$299.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
was-
think
I was gonna
any
say-
higher
Go.
any higher than 300, and it's just too high.
For me, a hardcore Nintendo fan, I'll be honest about that. I would not go any further than $349. If they're looking for more than $349 for a launch, forget it. I'm out.
No, I'm pretty much the same.
Because-
Anything between 250 and 350. That's it.
Well,
You know,
here's the
US
thing. I'm going
dollars.
to use a car analogy right now. The game companies need to learn a lesson that fucking Ford and Chevy learned a long time ago. Horsepower does not sell cars. Fuel efficiency does.
Yep.
If you start
No, that's-
eating in people's pockets, they don't want to hear from you anymore.
It's a really good analogy, but it's accurate because the thing is, people want to be entertained. People don't want to be broke. And that's what
Absolutely.
it is at the fucking end of the day, you know. And somebody might be like, "Oh, Alpha, you have like 8 bajillion games, motherfucker." I buy them when they're dirt cheap, and that's really true. There's
Well,
seldom do I go out and buy a $60 game, and I didn't
Oh, yeah.
buy any of the fucking consoles when they were brand new and just came out because I couldn't fucking afford it. I have bills to pay, man. I have
Yeah.
rent to pay. You know,
Well-
this isn't fucking like this isn't the year 2000 where I could blow a bunch of money and be okay with it.
Well, we don't live with our parents anymore as well, because
Yeah,
That-
that's the thing. You know, we're fully grown men, have to support ourselves. We also have fucking family.
Well, here's one thing that I want to gripe about the, you know, with regards to E3 and the Wii U and everything, and everyone's talking about moving into the next gen. It's like you haven't done shit. Well, the Xbox has. The Xbox has been beaten, you know, 7 ways to Sunday. You know, it has been used efficiently, and that's why it kind of won, in the last couple of years. But both the PlayStation 3 and the Wii have not performed, and I mean in terms of, what they're capable of at all. And I don't know why we're in such a big hurry to jump into the next thing, but I guess it's too late to worry about that now.
Well, to be quite honest, I'm not ready for a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox 720. I'll say that now. The Wii, a new Wii, yeah, probably because everything's going HD now and people want quality.
Well, but HD aside, man, it's about the gameplay. If you look at Skyward Sword, that game looks great.
I know it looks. I cannot disagree with you. I cannot agree with you more on that statement. It's just that
But that's the thing. But that means that every game on the Wii could look like that.
Can I get my point across a minute?
Sure, go ahead.
Go ahead. The thing is, it's the consumer. It's the fucking. It's not the gamers. It's the consumers that want to have. If it's got HD on it, it will sell, and that's the mentality of what Nintendo we're looking at now with the Wii U.
But see, saying to be perfectly honest, those consumers are going away.
Yes, they are.
The video games are fading from that spectrum. There was a time when video games was, like the pet rock, or like, it was just, it's been a passing fad a few times, and this time they just happen to make an ass ton of money off of it.
Yeah.
And now it's going away.
Fuck did we get from E3 to this?
It's the politics of it all, to be quite honest.
Consumer spending. But I mean, and I think that's why we're going to be witnessing, the end of E3, because the video game industry is shrinking. Whether you want to bitch and complain about hardware versus graphics, anything like that, the industry is shrinking, and there's no way around it.
Well, it's like what we mentioned last week with PlayStation sales figures. They're looking at it that they're at a loss, but to be quite honest, people are gearing up for the next generation, like we mentioned earlier.
People always want to gear up for the next generation because new hardware is exciting.
Exactly.
Let's be real here. Did Sony ever reach that pinnacle that they were supposed to reach? I mean, that you can't say, well, they're gearing up for the next cycle. That's why the sales are down. Well, what about the 6 years before that?
Well, I can totally appreciate where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, it's game sales what we've got to look at, not unit sales.
Well, exactly. There's the talk about, the PlayStation 3. And I'll say this very honestly. Everyone tells me, because I'm a Wii owner, well, you know how powerful the PlayStation 3 is. I'm like, yes, it's a very powerful machine. It can do this, it can do that, it can do this, it can do that. But what has it done?
Well,
yeah.
I will say this. The only thing that it has done right...
In a lot of places, but if you don't put them on, it doesn't really matter.
The only thing that the PlayStation 3 has done right is that it did exactly what the PlayStation 2 did, and that was bring a cheap variation of a DVD player or a Blu-ray player to the home. That's all they've done right. And
the problem, though, and I think this was the main problem they ran into, is they tried. That was kind of their plan B, because Plan A was not to market it as a cheap Blu-ray player because nobody wanted Blu-ray, and that's kind of the problem. Nobody still wants Blu-ray. Blu-ray still doesn't sell that well, so it hasn't.
Blu-ray's overpriced.
Of this decade.
Blu-ray.
Yeah, but anyways, we're way fucking off topic. We should probably move on to the next fucking thing.
Yeah. So E3,
if it goes away, don't be surprised.
Yeah.
Oh,
but anyway,
still that surprised.
Stay tuned for all of our E3 coverage coming up very soon.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of it.
You know what, Razor Fist, who brought this to my attention? Someone at DC Comics is going to make an announcement.
Yeah. DC Comics came out, no pun intended, and said that one of their main characters, one of the most prominent DC Comics characters, is going to be homosexual, is going to come out as homosexual in the next month.
Alfred.
So that's the editorial edict, and they just left it to our imagination to speculate as to whom.
Hang on.
I have my theory, but I want Razor to give his because his is very plausible.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Wonder Woman has been fucking scissoring since what, the 40s or 50s?
Been scissoring Harley.
I like that idea.
Even the guys she's been involved with, quote unquote, seemed like gay men. So I don't know, guys. I think she's a bull dyke.
You think so?
Dude, oh man, every
not-
time she puts her fucking firm, super powered fucking hand on another chick's shoulder and she's like, "Yes, my sister," and like gets like real close, I'm pretty sure that she's just like, "I'm all about slamming clams, so I think that we'll be able to take this around back and just go at it."
She's bondage.
Yeah.
Well, she likes
The
the whip.
real problem though is they tried to do this once before. You should never make a creative change through editorial edict, as far as I'm concerned. They did this with Batwoman. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the new Batwoman character, or new, quote unquote. She's from 2006.
Yeah,
But
newer.
newer Batwoman character. Basically, they just one day they said, we don't have enough lesbians. Let's make Batwoman a lesbian. And that was a terrible idea because now she's a completely one-dimensional character. She exists for no other reason than to confront the issue. Yeah, that is the entire reason she gets up in the morning. Boy, I like munching on Muff.
Yeah, that's the problem is that whenever
Muff
they
for
bring
me.
like a sexual preference into it, they base like their sexual preference becomes their personality, and that's no
Yeah.
way to write a character because it's like even if you are yourself a lesbian, it's like, okay, outside of the fact that you prefer women, can you please tell me about yourself? Well, I like women. I also like women. Something women, scissoring women, just
Flat
muff
top
diving
haircuts.
women. Yeah. Just women, and that's it. Oh, and I crime fight.
And then invariably,
I like buying Reeboks too.
and invariably later on they'll try and shoehorn some kind of tortured past onto them, and it comes off just as shoehorned in as it actually is. It's like then they come off as way too tortured, and it doesn't feel natural, and it's just a terrible idea to begin with.
Well, yeah, think of unnatural characters being shoehorned in. War Machine.
Oh yeah. Hello.
Here,
We're on
Would
about
you like to hear
DC, not
the-
Marvel.
No,
I
it's
know,
the
right?
same thing, man. Hey, Republican, Democrat. It's the same side of the shit sandwich.
Oh,
Yeah.
would
Well,
you like to
whoever it
hear
is, I'm
the
sure.
character?
Oh,
good.
go ahead.
Do you want to hear the character that I think that
Yes,
that
I do.
would potentially be gay? It would be kind of funny. Is Aquaman. And I say this outside of the fact that a newer Aquaman is honestly pretty fucking cool. Oh, and
He's kinda
also Flashpoint Aquaman's very badass, by the way. If anybody ever read the Flashpoint comics with Aquaman, he was fucking awesome in those. But anyway,
Aquaman's all bulked up and he's got a beard now and shit.
oh no, that's Aquaman from like 2000 and somewhere in the 90s as well.
On Aquaman, I'm sorry. What's Aquaman look like these days?
He looks like he used to. He's clean cut, and all the other shit. But like, I think it'd be funny because he's a king, and he's supposed to have a queen. And if he turned out to be gay, that would just turn the entire Atlantis upside down, and it would fuck up everything. Because it's like our king smokes pole or aqua pole. I'm like, whoa, fucking whoa. We can't fucking have this.
Horses.
Yeah,
So I definitely I don't know, I'd be all for Aquaman being gay, but out of all of them, I agree with Razor Fist. I can see it being Wonder Woman, and it makes sense for it to be Wonder Woman because she never gets into a big time relationship and stays with it. She definitely comes off as she lives on an all chick island, for fuck's sake. Think about this, man.
You know what I'm voting for?
Huh?
I'm voting for the Joker because that would probably explain why he never answered any of Harley Quinn's advances.
No, they've shown him he's fucked Harley Quinn countless times, but the thing is they have always dabbled in the thing of he's gay for Batman and only Batman, and that's it.
Well, speaking of Batman, whoever this gay character is, I'm sure it's not Robin, right? With his ballet shoes, his half cape, and his lime green hot pants. That dude is manlier than John Matrix, right?
I don't know. Have you seen the
It's gonna be
60s
Classic
version of
Man
him?
or something.
Come if you want to live.
Anyway, well, we'll find out soon enough. When is that supposed to happen? Does anybody know?
Sometime in the next month. I don't know. I don't know how long they're going to drive, keep this going to try and drive the hype train.
Well, folks, fans, as soon as we know, you'll know. What do you think, Saint Magnus?
I like Batman. I think he could end up being the gay one because he loves Alfred, if you think about it. But that could be because he sees
Well,
Alfred as
Alfred is
a he sees Alfred as a father figure. But think back to the Joel Schumacher, films. You know,
I don't know,
Except-
man. Batman, just like, okay, we talked earlier, again, before the fucking podcast, we talked about this exact topic, and we brought up Wolverine and Nightwing both being like big time fucking whores in their respective companies, and Batman is a lot like Nightwing. All he does is rail bitches left and right. That's
Yeah,
just his
he's-
MO. Like,
I don't know, that guy
new
gets.
Catwoman comics, man. The very first issue, he's like, "Hey there, Catwoman. Something, something, something. Here's my bat dick," and just starts like fucking giving it to her. And you already know. I'm pretty sure he fucking banged Harley Quinn at some fucking point because he can. Didn't he fuck Lois Lane too for a little bit?
I think he did.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Is
Like,
that-
I'm pretty sure
Oh,
that he
yeah.
was fucking Lois Lane. This is like before Lois and Superman actually hooked up, but he came in as like, Bruce Wayne, and he was just like, "Yeah, you like that, don't you, bitch?"
Money shot. Sorry.
Money shot.
Anyway,
Use your X-ray vision on that.
there you go.
So
But-
we're saying Wonder Woman collectively then.
I think it could be Wonder Woman. That's where I'd creatively stake my money.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Oh, or it could be the Flash could also be gay. I don't
that
know.
would be
man.
funny.
Just-
Yeah, because
That-
no
that
one
makes-
would catch him anyway.
Although remember Bruce Campbell's Flash,
Huh?
What?
the Bruce Campbell
what?
Flash. Do you not remember that, the movie? Years ago.
No.
No. Oh well.
And I am
Just
fucking
leave it
lost.
like that, you dick. What are you talking about?
No, there was a Flash TV show. It wasn't Bruce Campbell. It was some other
Sure
dude.
it was. Memory
What?
serves. There was a movie years ago. I'm talking
Oh,
early
oh.
90s.
what the fuck ever. I don't know. I
Oh,
was talking about the TV series.
I'm gonna
Anyway,
wiki it. You
Serious, I
you
even had a Flash poster. God, I was fucking super cool.
I don't know. Have you seen his
Dude,
little
I think
antenna on
it's
this?
fair because I don't even think like the Flash is like that awesome of a character. Yet I had a Flash poster when I was younger, and my Batman pajamas and Superman underwear. Because look at me, I'm cool. There's lots of sarcasm here, everybody.
Lots and lots and lots.
fuck you. I had DuckTales underoos. Your noise. I did have some Batman ones for a while, and I think I had some Wolverine ones too.
I had a Superman onesie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a Superman
Or
one.
not the onesie, the footy pajamas. I beg your pardon.
No,
Whatever.
dude, that's fucking awesome. Oh, I still got my Batman the Animated Series fucking pillowcases and bed sheet set still
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, they must look like hell by now.
No, dude, they were fucking brand new at the thrift store. That's why I bought them. I was like, wow, these things
Oh.
are from 1993, and they were brand new packaging. I was like, fuck it, I'll buy them. $3, whatever.
There you go, man. Feel all good about yourself and what have you.
Hey, I did. I felt damn good, and that's a good way.
Dude,
Like,
that's a good way to
ladies.
impress bitches. I just want you to know that.
Continuing the fuck on.
Anyway, we're winding down towards the end of the podcast, and we appreciate you for tuning in. If you have any questions, comments, concerns of any kind, don't forget you can reach us at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. Also at Facebook, which you'll find in the links in the description box below. Don't forget to send questions, because if you don't do it, then we wither and die, and then we'll find out where we live and kill you. But anyway, we're on to
It was John
my
Wesley,
favorite-
by the way.
Say again?
John Wesley, I was thinking of.
John Wesley?
Yeah, he was in
Who
the show.
is John Wesley?
He was in the Flash, the show.
Okay.
Okay.
John.
Glad to know.
Shit.
Anyway, we're moving on to my favorite part, your favorite part, the place where stars come out to shine, the rant. And
Yes.
captaining the rant today is, like I said, the wrist rocket himself, the mighty Razor Fist.
All
What do
right.
you rant, Razor Fist?
I have wanted to rant about Call of Duty Black Ops 2 for motherfucking weeks. And yeah, now it's going to come all tumbling out. Because to date, I think I've made Call of Duty the subject of 3 separate videos, which, in all candor, is exactly 3 more fucks than should ever have been given. This is a series that over the past 4 years somehow managed to pull off a theoretically impossible feat as far as I'm concerned, which is making the premise of Angry Birds seem fresh and exciting compared to traversing a war zone surrounded by bloodthirsty Russians while armed with a motherfucking rocket launcher. This series milked its own overwrought formula so goddamn dry it's currently writing Jay Leno's monologues. But hearken to me, fellow rageaholics and hate-bit hedonists. On the horizon, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's a 6 billionth annual sequel. So what Quran conflappery is Treyarch sprinkled into the rapidly stagnating cauldron of bubbling bullshit, you ask? Well, after all indications are that Black Ops 2 sports, I think, the same engine, the same co-op and multiplayer that couldn't have been driven any further into the ground at this point without having to fist fight a motherfucking Balrog. Well, folks, this game is from the future. The year 2027, to be precise. Yes, that's right, the exact same year as Deus Ex Human Revolution takes place. As if hanging a bright neon sign around this vapid contrivance with the words, compare us unfavorably to a vastly superior game, emblazoned in hot fucking pink like the Budweiser sign in the Holiday Inn men's restroom in which Cliff Bleszinski is with some regularity jungled in his quivering ass. And yet there actually exist loathsome, parasitic little miscreants that are legitimately sexually aroused at the prospect of spending 6,000 cents for the same fecal discharge that Activision has been troweling out on an annual basis for the last 5 fucking years because there's a futuristic coat of paint on top. Why? Because to them, Call of Duty is a party game. It's the new Guitar Hero. And much like Guitar Hero and Rock Band, the whore masters working the whip that drives this bedraggled dromedary into the commercial wasteland time and again are more cognizant of this fact than most, which is why I think what I have to say next goes out to the fans of this series. I'm not the enemy. Activision is. The haters aren't the enemy. Activision is. Because if they get their way, your favorite series will suffer a violent and abrupt death within the next 3 years, and you can motherfucking quote me on that. There'll be a great big Call of Duty-shaped pyre behind GameStop using plastic guitars as kindling, and Bobby Kotick's little cocktail sausage will personally disperse the urinal stream that ultimately extinguishes the inferno. I'm not trying to attack capitalism here, because capitalism can be a beautiful thing, but there comes a time when you've made your bones, you've had your 3 sequels, and it's time to pick up your ball and go home before the adoring throng turns into a pitchfork-wielding mob. So, just in case this message has not yet been relayed to Treyarch and Activision in general, listen the fuck up. You aren't nigh universally reviled merely because it's fun to hate the biggest dog in the yard, alright? You're reviled because you're the industry equivalent of the sweaty encyclopedia salesman that the unwitting public and the gaming public has mistakenly allowed into the dining room, and now everyone's silently despising you from the adjacent hallway while mom and dad try to shoehorn your fetid, hoary hindquarters out the door so you can play hopscotch with the Jehovah's Witnesses at the end of the driveway. Like that overextended metaphor, you've overstayed your goddamn welcome. Take the motherfucking hint and move on to the next IP. There's no shortage of licenses you can suck drier than Yahtzee's comedic delivery. You've got the Marvel license, for fuck's sake. The Avengers, after that movie, The Avengers is hotter right now than Alyssa Milano circa 1996 with Ava Green circa now wedged between her titties. If you can't come up with an original thought, then at least steal a different one. I'm Razorfist God fucking Speed.
And there you, folks, you have the truth, the whole truth, and no, seriously, that's really just the truth. So
that is just it. We don't hate the game, we hate the fucking people that make the fucking game.
Yep.
I mean, it's that simple.
Actually, that's not true. I hate a good majority of its quote-unquote fan base that just buy it because their friends buy it, because their friends buy it, because they have to go online, because they're KD, because that's the only game that they fucking own, but they call themselves a gamer, and they own 4 Call of Duty games and 1 Gears of War game.
And
I'm sorry, but that's what I hate the franchise by proxy because of the bullshit Activision fucking company and because of the stupid fucking fan base that it's conjured because of that. It just
I can't believe they are not cognizant of the fact that the company that runs this franchise is ultimately going to kill it. So their favorite franchise is going to go away if they don't stop blindingly defending them.
But see, that's the thing. A lot of people want something until it's driven to the ground. Like, they want it at its peak. and they'll just keep climbing up really, really high, and it's just gonna fucking fall off, Jersey Shore style. Okay, it's gonna be relevant for 5 fucking minutes, and everybody can go, and you can work your fucking wieners to how many millions it sells. You know, it's like the pre-orders, it beats world records for. I don't fucking give a shit if it beat every single world record ever, because I can turn around and list off 100 fucking different games that are superior in every single way, from gameplay to fucking story to graphics to everything. I'm sorry, it's the same fucking game time and time and again, and you're all still fucking by it. Not actually to people listening, but, you know, just pointing out that the fucking assholes that ride the dick of this franchise can go get fucked. Sideways, frontways, upside down, in zero gravity. I don't really care, just so long as there's fucking ding-dongs being thrust into whatever fucking available hole is in them. Fuck them.
It's true.
All that and a Wonka Vader reference? My goodness.
I know. Look at that.
But I mean, everything you said is fucking true. And the thing is, many people listening to this feel the same fucking way. I really don't know a single person, literally, that I genuinely am in contact with regularly that thinks as highly of the series as some of its fucking fans do. And they all say the same exact shit. Like, you know, they'll be like, you're just faggots. And it's just like, I'm a faggot how? Like, yeah, you're just a faggot. And it's like, okay, I'm a faggot how again? I'm like, you're just mad because you'd go online and get owned. And it's like, wow, dude, that was really your fucking retort.
Look, to their credit, Alpha, if you didn't bone down with so many dudes, they wouldn't call you a faggot.
Yeah, that is really true. Smoking all that fucking massive amount of fucking wiener. Oh, wait, then again, they're the ones online fucking, you know, with their little fucking headsets on, fucking in a tiff, about to break the controller in their hands. Like, I can't believe that guy he quick-scoped me. Meanwhile, they haven't felt a vaginal crease in what, 5, 10 fucking, oh wait, never? Oh, goodness gracious. Excuse me.
No, they may have felt it on the way out of the birth canal.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. They were just like the first and the last. Dun, dun.
You know what? You know, sounds like it'd be a really good time to go on Call of Duty on the multiplay, cook up with some guy, and then just leave. So he's left to fight on his own.
Yes.
Dude, it's just, it really is. And the thing that fucking kills me, and this is something else we had fucking mentioned before a podcast, is I hate using Call of Duty as a reference tool time and again whenever I'm talking about video games. But the problem is, it's hard not to because it's everywhere. Every fucking where. When every single person owns a copy of it, talks about it, when every fucking news publication talks about it, from magazines to fucking online sites to fucking TV shows, when it's referenced in fucking sitcoms, it's just too much. And you can't help but to fucking want to put a bullet between its eyes, put it out of its motherfucking misery, and just let us finally be at peace and happy and find something else for us to go and take a shit on.
I'm sick of opening up the fucking newspaper in the morning and finding an advert for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I'm sick of waiting at the bus stops, seeing the fucking advert for Modern Warfare 3 printed on the side of the fucking bus. I'm sick of walking down the streets and hearing somebody get excited over a Call of Duty fucking game. There's better games out there than just some fucking first-person shooter, which nobody's going to give a shit about the single-player mode and just go straight to the multiplayer. It kind of defeats the object of enjoying a game and escaping the real world to explore something a bit more interesting and new. You know, we mentioned Borderlands 2 before. Borderlands 2, yes, it's got a multiplayer option, but it's a teamwork multiplayer option. You work as a team to better the game for yourselves. So look at other first-person shooters. We mentioned this a few fucking podcasts ago, right? We mentioned decent first-person shooters that are out there that you can genuinely pick up and try. So
Singularity, No One Lives Forever, Metro 2033, God, the original Wolfenstein 3D. I mean, these are all brilliant first-person shooters in wildly divergent genres. There were genres within first-person shooter. That was the difference between shooters then and now. Every shooter now falls into the FPS milieu, unfortunately.
No, the FPS is all fucking. Have you got an M4? Yes. Right, go and shoot that soldier over there.
Yeah. And back in the day, you had GoldenEye, which was, yes, it was a first-person shooter, but you could go in guns blazing, or you could stealth it up a little bit. Or
Yeah.
you could set remote mines and kill everyone in the level at once. You know what I mean? It was brilliant. It was not just a straightforward, okay, here's your bright flashing follow icon. Follow this dildo. If you stray more than 5 feet away from him, the mission's over. No, there was none of that.
And invisible fucking walls.
And the thing is, every other fucking company, they want this formula to work for them, and that's the truth. Seriously, think about how many franchises, especially this generation, with fucking Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare coming out. Just think about how many franchises have tried adopting the same exact formula that Call of Duty has to try to go and relive its success and to try to live in its shadow so it can go and get some of its success and its sales figures. It won't fucking happen, but tons of fucking games, even Japanese developers, have been fucking trying to go and get this stuff to happen, and it's not the way to go. Just because, I don't know, Angry Birds fucking sells well. Not every single fucking game on your phone should be a fucking physics-based game where you go and hurl one animal into a bunch of fucking blocks and try to blow up other animals. It doesn't fucking make sense
if
to
you
do
were
that.
hurling orphans at a brick wall, though.
Well, I did bring up the idea of hurling zombies into fucking STARS members for a Resident Evil clone type game, and to be honest, after reading through some of the comments on that video, I do agree it would be kind of funny. But aside from something like that, it's just everybody needs to quit riding its fucking dick and realize people are buying it because of its fucking namesake, and all the people that aren't buying it, that are into it, are buying fucking Battlefield because they want to have something to say, yeah, I'm not into that game. That's the mainstream stuff. I'm hardcore. Battlefield! So, yeah, you're playing the same fucking game with a new name, okay?
No, that's
kid
a good
yourself.
point, though. That's a good point. Because I play Battlefield because I genuinely like Battlefield games. I've been playing it since the PC. But the PS3 version isn't exactly the greatest, and I'm sure the Xbox 360 version isn't exactly the greatest because they're both a glitchy mess. Now, you do find ex-Call of Duty players on there that play it like it's Call of Duty. You do have to have some element of fucking tactical thinking to play Battlefield games. And they're just trying to be another Call of Duty now. Battlefield 3, in my eyes, is a massive disappointment. I still claim to this day the best console version of Battlefield was Battlefield 2 on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox 360, and that's it. End of story, in my opinion. That's my opinion on Battlefield.
And that's our opinion. And if you enjoy it, if you disagree, don't forget to drop us a line. Anyway, that brings us to the end of our show. We thank you for joining us. This has been the Hate Bit Podcast. Joining me, as always, has been Razor Fist.
Hideo Kojima can lick the most pungent folds of Roseanne Barr's rancid slatch trap. God fucking sake.
And there's the title of the next podcast.
There you go. Rancid Snatch. Also, AlphaOmegaSin.
I am severely allergic to that kind of snatch. Ew, so nasty. Anyway,
No,
everybody
I did
avoid
not- I
snatch
didn't-
like that. It's bad for you.
I did not actually say I said slatch.
Slap.
Oh, slatch.
Yep.
Wait, oh goodness, slatch. That's even worse. I mean, the name
Sloppy
alone.
snatch.
Yeah, that's like a sloppy snatch. Yeah, wow, slatch.
Actually,
There you
no,
go,
just
folks.
have to pronounce it sloppy. It's a sloppy snatch.
See, now everybody just remember, if you are ever going to use coin terms on here, and I did get told this before, please just tell them, yeah, I heard this on a Hate Bit podcast. You don't have to fucking go and sell us, but the fact that we should just be known for this funny bullshit. Anyway, something marketing. Anyway.
So, yeah.
Also joined by the super suave Sainted Magnus.
Well, I've told you this before, I ain't that fucking suave. But anyway, speaking of suave, I'm going to suave off. So thank you very much for listening, and I shall see you all next week.